as I'll ever be.
Well, you're on.
Fucking start.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tales on Tap, a place where, up till now, good friends have come to have fun at face circuses, take down cults and fight dragons, and try and save the universe as a barely functioning, cohesive group of adults. I am usually Other Dan or Big Dan, but today I am the Dan, because I am Dungeonmaster for this 4-shot campaign. Woo. There are things I have to say, I do remember them, but first, this is a special 4-shot because we are being sponsored by Level Up 5e Advanced.
What?
So they have quite graciously gifted us stuff and told us to run their things, and we are going to, which is what we're doing here today. I'm doing my best. Please just bear with me. I have never done this in my life.
You're gonna do
so before I have to do anything else, let's talk to everyone else, and let's get them involved. That'll help ease the
Hello,
players.
Hi, we're here.
You got this. You'll be absolutely fine.
I know, it's fine. I'm getting my bearings. So, as always, we are sponsored by Valkyrie RPG, the lovely people who have been with us since the beginning and are proprietors of dice-based things, t-shirts, apparel, and generally just good faith and time. So if you want to go buy things, please go to valkyrie-rpg.co.uk and use Tales10 at checkout to get 10% off. I do remember things. It's happening.
You've got it. You've got it.
It's good, isn't it?
Into place.
I love it when a plan comes together.
There we go.
Also, we don't ask for sponsors or subs or anything along those lines, but if you feel the need to, please go downstairs, click those buttons, and if you want to do it for free, you can attach your Amazon to this to get a free sub or something along those lines.
Yes, you can
you'll
link
figure
up
it out.
your
That's
Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account to get a free Prime Gaming sub.
There we go. See, someone who's done it before. It's fine. Watch this baby bird fly. Now.
I'm so proud.
That's not it, though, is it? Dan, do I need to hand this to you? Because there was something you wanted to say, wasn't there?
There was, yeah. But let's before you come to me, because mine's a bit more about the upcoming things. Why don't we hand over to Han so she could tell us a little bit about the system that we're going to be using today?
Absolutely.
We were prepared for this.
Yeah, so as Dan rightly mentioned, we are being sponsored, not will be, we are. Right now, it's starting
as we
by
speak.
Level Up Advanced 5th Edition. They are essentially a company who has taken the 5e, the 5th Edition Dungeons and Dragons that we all know and love, and enhanced it. They've kind of rejigged the character creation system such that you can... There's now a lot more weight on the heritage and the upbringing you have rather than your species itself. And it is, in this case, it is your background that gives you your ability score improvements rather than your base race or species. So they've basically taken this, they've added some new kind of rule sets and rule elements to the game, such as expertise die and various specialties within certain skills. So whereas just being proficient in the history skill, as in 5th edition, you can have a bit of a niche knowledge in, genealogy or something of that line. It's a lot of fun, and I know that we've all kind of been getting to grips with character creation because this is all new for us. So we're going to be kind of figuring things out as we go because there are a lot more features and traits available through this character creation process, which are like completely different from what we're used to, really.
Yeah.
One second.
It's really interesting as well because it means that the classes aren't so sort of defined as well. Like just as an example, going into this, I was creating a bard, and what I've come out with is almost kind of a mixture between a bard, a druid, and a sorcerer.
Yeah.
But that's totally down to the flexibility of Level Up Advanced 5e and how you can kind of take little different aspects based on not only your class but your background, your heritage, your origin and stuff like that. So it makes the whole system less defined, and you can.
So also with the classes, there are new kind of subclasses and archetypes. So I've created a wizard. I think we're going to go around and go through the technical bits that we've chosen in a second, but I've chosen a wizard who is essentially has a bit of like cleric to them as well. So it's like there's a lot of flexibility and ways to branch out of the standard wizard stereotype, as it were, with level up.
Yeah, it makes every character that you design using this system feel unique, and you can play the same class multiple times, and each single time have it be entirely different. So if you particularly like being a cleric, then by using the level up 5e system, by purely using their intricate way of building one, it can be something different every time. It's a brilliant system.
Good.
Yeah. There is one part of the character creation we're not using, which is the destinies, which is amazing. It gives you a sort of a more long-term goal sort of situation, but because
and bonuses once you fulfill those goals.
Yeah. So because we're only doing an in-game, I believe it's only going to be a couple of days. We didn't need to dip into that, so we won't be dipping into that on stream. But check it out; they are very cool.
Super good. There's lots to discover.
Yeah. Cool. Well, with that said and done, I will move on to my announcement, or our announcement, should I say, that I am going to announce. Weird way of putting it. I am not well, folks. I'm like hopped up on painkillers and like flu medicine and shit right now, so like my head is everywhere.
He's method acting.
So, as I'm sure you're all aware, after Dan has done an amazing job at running this 4-shot for us, we are going to be diving into campaign 2 of our mainstay campaign. And we have told you, and we've kind of like teased it over the last few weeks about maybe having new sponsors and like maybe having some things to reveal. Well, let's do that. Let's reveal some stuff first. So enjoy. So there you go. There you have it. New friends. So for campaign 2, which is launching on the 14th of November, called Erelon, A Destined Journey. When Erelon kicks off, we will be having some long-term sponsors join us for that entire campaign. So there's a huge shout out and a huge thank you to Tom Kartos Battle Maps, Awfully Queer Heroes, and as always, Valkyrie RPG. But they're going to be the new sponsors. We have much to reveal over the coming weeks. Please make sure that you subscribe to all our social media accounts, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. We upload VODs each week on YouTube, and we'll be uploading all the promo stuff over the next like 2 or 3 weeks with the run up to the main campaign, campaign 2. So please keep a weathered eye on the horizon for that, because it is going to be insane.
I'm so excited.
It's going to be good.
I love that phrase as well. You use that a lot.
What, weathered eye on the horizon?
Yeah, I like it.
Thank you. But that is enough from me. It is not my time in the spotlight tonight. I'm going to be taking a little bit more of a backseat as a player. So, Dan, back over to you, sir.
Indeed it is. I mean, that's pretty much it for the announcements, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I think so.
Right then. Well, with nothing left to say, everyone find a comfortable seat, get a drink you enjoy, and get ready for Trails of Vashoadan. Paths collide here at Tales on Tap.
Go.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, before we do kick into my intro and get things going, because we are using a new system, I feel it would be helpful for you and us just to rattle off what our races, classes, heritages, classes, that kind of thing is, and just go around, do a little round table, just so we're all aware of who's playing what. You can get used to it, and as such, so no particular order. Evan, let's go with you first.
Right.
Interesting.
Okay, so
No physical description, just class.
Just the technical
and
detail.
That stuff. That comes later.
So I've chosen to play a Forsaken Dwarf, which is a new culture for the heritage that is Dwarf, which has replaced race in 5e. And I've also chosen to play a War Priest Cleric, which is sort of a new subclass. So yeah, that's I think that's about it, right?
Unless your background is particularly special.
Not particularly special. It's sailor, so I chose to do easy for myself there, just for the benefits of my own sanity.
That's fine, Sailor. You carry on. Okay. Next in initiative order, let's go with Chris.
Oh, okay, cool. So I am playing a halfling bard, but you might think of the sort of typical halfling bard. We all know one very well, I'm sure, if you're watching D&D online. But this is not a typical halfling bard. For a start, his heritage is Twilight Touched, which means this is a halfling who has not seen a lot of sunlight, either because they live underground and do not come up from their burrows much, or if, in my case, doesn't see a lot of sunlight because he comes from a very cold place. But that sort of gives your halfling dark vision and some other cool things as well, which we'll get into. And for a culture, I've gone with a must-bairn halfling. And to summarize that, basically they are creatures that are very in touch with the earth and the soil. As I said, halflings living in burrows and things like that. They're ones who are very in touch with the natural world. So despite being a bard, he's, almost uses the wind and the wind through the trees to create his music, and you'll see how he does that as we progress. And just to touch on another thing we sort of discussed a little bit before, he's got a few specialities, which are things that you can assign based on different skills that you're either proficient with or have good stats in. So he's got speciality in the history of arts and legends, for example, but he's also got nature specialities of beast lore, astronomy and plant lore. And medicines, he's got a little bit of a speciality in poisons. So if those things come up, he'll get a little bit of a boost to those things. But yeah, that's what I'm playing with.
Muy excelente.
Love that.
That's great.
Natalie, you go next.
Okay, so I am playing their version of sort of a barbarian, which is a berserker. I am a rager berserker, in fact, which is the subclass. I'm playing a plain touched as well, but I am going tiefling because they rule.
Valid.
Though she is a little bit of a different barbarian, as she comes from the circus, because that's her culture, circus folk, which is very entertaining if you read the bio for that. So I've also gone background of entertainer because it fits in with the circus. She's a very different type of barbarian with this makeup, but I'm excited.
Cool. And the 2 DMs are left, so Hannah, let's go.
Okay,
Hannah,
so I am going to be...
Tea tree there for a second.
I am going to be a human because, similar to Evan, I didn't want to fry my poor little brain, so I went for human. Little did I know that there is actually also a lot to do with human as part of this too. So I will be playing a human wizard, as I've mentioned previously. My culture is collegiate and my background is sage because I do be a smart bitch.
Yeah.
Love that.
It has to be said. But what I'm very excited about is that my wizard archetype is a pyromancer, which is not just kind of arson, set fire to things. Yes, this is amazing. You look into the flames and you can heal, you can help,
damn.
you can do a lot of other stuff with it, and it's a lot of fun. It's very interesting. Because I am the aforementioned smart bitch, I do have a lot of specialties in various things. I'm not going to go into all of them, but under medicine, for instance, I have proficiency in diseases and also poison. So, that'll be interesting overlap. Proficiency in a specialty in linguistics, sensing motives in insight, and just a load of other little bits that I'm very excited to play out. Also, a load of tool proficiencies that I don't know if any of those are going to come up, but we'll see.
Same. Yeah.
And last but not least, Dan, do you want to round us out?
Is it me? Is it my turn? It's me.
The other Dan this time.
Love that. Well, the thing is, Dan, you can say Dan, and I'm the only person that means. So absolutely, I'll go next. So my character, I wanted to take on another one of their classes that is their take on a different type of fighter. So I've gone for a martial class. So I am going to be playing a gnome martial. Who has the Outlander background due to backstory reasons. Won't go into that, but the Outlander background because he's a gnome. He's not from the big city. He's from out. He's from out in the sticks. But that also, by becoming an Outlander, that gives me, as everybody else gets, a few additional things, which is really, really fun. But the martial class, I kind of really wanted to try out because it was a different take on a fighter. So yeah, something that really kind of stood out to me. So that's what I'm going to be playing. He is a little mischievous and a little bit of an arsehole, but he's lovable.
That has nothing to do with Advanced 5e.
No, it doesn't.
No, that's
just me. I'm just telling you about my character. I'm getting excited. But I becoming a martial, I get a lot of combat maneuvers and additional boons that I can grant to other players. So yeah, I'm really kind of looking forward to diving into this class. It's going to be fun. Something I forgot to mention right at the beginning of the stream, though, is that we now have subscriber badges.
Ooh.
We do. I forgot to mention this to anyone. We have them. Yeah, we have them now. So they're on. So if you subscribe for a certain amount of time, you get badges, and they go up in scale, the little shields next to your name, and they go up. Cool. So yeah, there you go. Sorry, derailing again. Dan, apologies. Over to you.
No, not at all. A little just caveat I will put out there. My internet is being slightly weird, so if I do judder and jit about a bit, there's literally nothing I can do about it. But other than that, I think we're ready.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready.
So, shall we play some D&D now we've talked all the shop out?
Yes,
let's do it.
Definitely.
Yes, please.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Let's go. Peace reigns for now. The near island nation of Vashoadan, a verdant and lush beacon of hope to all in this world. After the ends of the Mercy Wars, when the borders were thrown open, peoples from all over came to do what they do best: sell, buy, trade, and make their fortune in this world. Vashoadan used to be barren, sparse, under the tyranny of war and the Azure Mercy, led by Unadona, the last of the Crystal Dragons, and her fanatical cult. But the 5-Star Seal, a brave band of legendary adventurers led by Miriam Bakewell, a seemingly ordinary woman from an ordinary farm, blessed by a small deity, rose up, found friends, and brought this world back to balance. We now stand in the golden age of the caravan. Trade, roads, routes, and everything you can imagine run snake through this land. And it's good. It's peaceful. For now, anyway. We make our way to the city of Moorhome, a coastal city of sorts. It is huge and it expands wide across the beaches. Boats, ships, small rowing vessels, whatever you can do to get into the waterways and roads of water that snake through this city to sell your wares. This is where the people are from. But we will discuss that soon. As we enter the Guild of Hearth and Home, set up by Miriam after the ends of the Mercy Wars to give people work, jobs, the ability to earn gold and do good for their country and their people. The guild spread far and wide and was a place of assurance and love and kindness. But at the moment, it's breakfast. Woo! And the jobs of the day are being handed out. A man you all know very well, a man by the name of Trent Damascus, is currently face deep in a clipboard looking through what small notes need to be read and what missions need to be assigned for the day. He's a tall man, darkish skin, long black hair that curls but is tied into a very efficient ponytail. Pointed ears, very deep brown eyes, and he seems to be wearing armored leathers. It's kind of like half armor, like he's got more to put on. And as he walks around and discusses the missions of the days of the different groups, he comes across a table of only 4 to begin with. As he swigs down a mug of hot brown potion of the morning, he looks at you and goes, "You're right, you 4. Where's Colin?"
"I don't know. He hasn't
he looks
gotten
down
up from bed yet."
And as we turn to the table, Chris, seeing as we've got there so far, would you like to describe your character for me?
Yeah, sure. So my character is about 3.5 foot, with a jolly rotundness, and a sort of little leather sort of skull cap thing with flaps over the ears, over his head, a big brown bushy beard, very sallow, kind of pale, almost grey skin, and the eyes are almost clouded over very slightly. But other than that, he's got a big flap of fur over one shoulder, and beneath a sort of small little leather waistcoat jacket, you can see a breastplate. He's got a horn on his hip and a small short sword on the other, and a shield on his back. And he's just sitting there, sort of kicking his feet off the bench of the table that we're on, just looking quite happy and sort of bouncing around, ready to go.
Excellent. And Nala, can you describe your character, please?
So Nala has barely noticed anyone approach the table, as she is like face down in food at the moment. She's just like shoveling food in. But what you do see is a purple-skinned tiefling. She is extremely muscly, built. She is wearing sort of sports sort of wear, so shorts and a crop top sort of thing. So you can see all her muscles. She likes people to know what she's about. To her side, you do see her trusty. Is it barbell? Is that what the weight
barbell?
Yeah, barbell.
Yeah.
So you do see a very large barbell propped up against her chair, that she is never away from. But yeah, so bright pink hair as well.
Nice.
Good choice.
Excellent. And moving on from Nala, as she's chowing down on the morning protein, Hyacinth, who do we see?
You see a very frail-looking human girl, probably in her early 20s. String of white, like grey, long flowing hair with like highlights of white speckled across, wearing what looks to just be almost like just a standard scholar's robe, completely discarding the plate of food that has remained untouched in front of her, nose deep in a book, a pair of like round glasses on her face that she just like pushes up to the bridge of her nose and startles at the sound of Rufus's voice, still not quite accustomed to his brush tone. But she's probably, she's very thin and frail, probably around 5'2" in height. She is a short little lady. but feels very tall next to a couple of the individuals here. So takes that as a win. Yeah, she's just sat nose deep in a book, just startled by Rufus.
Wonderful. And finally, Crumb.
Right, so probably across from Hyacinth. Crumb is a short, very stocky, sort of almost auburn red haired dwarf with this. Well, you can't really see his hair because he always has his sort of. Is it called a cowl?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He always has his sort of cowl on, but you can see sort of strips of his long red hair go down his slightly part his chest, and this big, almost tangled, bushy red beard, as he doesn't really acknowledge anyone coming to the table, but he's very, like Nala, very obsessed with the food. And as he spots that Hyacinth is not eating anything, he literally just grabs a chicken off her plate and starts munching on that one as well.
Nala raises an eyebrow to that, like, oh.
Making very grunting noises as he eats. He just goes.
Fantastic. So, very much as you described, breakfast here is served by a fully staffed kitchen of enthusiastic individuals who are constantly bringing out fruit, bacon, eggs, egg bread, muffins, huge pieces of meat, whatever you could possibly want. It comes from that kitchen. You see someone you've come to know by the name of Brace. He is a half-orc, mohawk, very long soul patch, huge tattoos on both arms, no shirt, which raises a lot of eyebrows, but people tend to let it go because he seems clean. And he's currently behind the sort of the counter, looking at his chefs, just sort of going, make sure that doesn't burn. Bring those. Right, no, you whisk that. Fine. And you can sort of hear the grunting as the smells sort of emanate into this room. The guild itself is split up into 3 buildings because of the way Moorhome is made. So you have the central sort of hub where you are, which is, it's very much the comfort of home. So you have lots of soft leather armchairs surrounded by fires. You have the tables you sat on are almost like picnic tables. There's very nice sort of tablecloths and cutlery and napkins, weirdly. They have just, it's a very homely place set in, and there is above the sort of the main fireplace, there is a huge picture of a woman you all know very well, which would be Miriam Bakewell. It's kind of like a battle picture almost, or one taken during the war. She looks young, freckled, huge orange hair sort of pulled into a very messy looking braid. This dirtied but beautiful paladin armor with this tartan skirt wrapped around the middle. It's still a full set, but she has things on it. Giant greatsword, but it's loose in her hand, and she looks tired, but is smiling very softly towards whoever be looking at this. And it's very much a reminder of who started this, and heroes can come from anywhere. Essentially, this is what it's for. Mm-hmm. And as Trent sort of looks at the 4 of you, can everyone just make me a general intelligence check, just for reasons? The first roll, all 4 of you, intelligence.
Okay. Playing Dungeons and Dragons for almost 7 years. Always forget to get my dice out. Most important thing.
I got a 17.
I got an 18.
Cool. No.
I got a 19.
Oh, damn.
I gotta say, this really checks out. I got a nat 1.
So,
I have a 0.
Okay, Crumb, Rufus, you kind of think you know, but Nala, Hyacinth, you definitely know.
I got higher than them. I got 19.
Colin isn't asleep. What did you roll, sorry, Chris?
19.
Oh, did you? Sorry, Kyle, I thought you got lower because.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, I was doing silly voice.
So you three know exactly. You three know exactly where Colin is. Crumb, you're not even sure who Colin is at the moment. You think you travel with someone like that, but it could just be anyone. As you sort of look up at Trent, as he looks down and goes, "Oh, is that egg bread? I'm going to have some of that egg bread," and sort of puts it in his mouth. You all look at him, and you know for a fact Colin is sat very close to a forge, not too far away, like a bridge across, really trying to annoy someone.
That was my eggy bread.
So,
I mean,
look,
it's not our responsibility
Rufus, it's
to
a
know
fully
exactly
stocked
where
kitchen.
we all are at all times.
I mean, you are a band. You're supposed to stick together.
Sorry, who are we talking about?
That fella Colin.
DM, would I know that Colin would not want us to say where he is? Or would I be sort of not feeling like I cannot give this information?
The amount of time you've been here, everyone's fairly aware of what Colin does at this point, even Trent to a degree. They just can't time when it's going to happen. So, you would say.
Okay, so... Well, I mean, if he's not here, he's probably the other place he usually is.
Oh, he's annoying Greg this morning, isn't he?
I don't see what kind of problem he has with that guy, to be honest.
No, because I've got work for you all to do, right? You lot finish your breakfast, right? Look, this is your morning missions. Take that. I'm going to head to the forge and make sure that Greg's not smashed him into oblivion. Wait there. I'll be right back. And he, throws you sort of like this square of paper that has missions on, and I'm taking more egg bread, and starts walking towards one of the... It's like up a set of stairs. It's very much like a corridor bridge that leads from one building to another.
Okay.
Rufus's eyes light up and he leaps across the table to grab the paper as it hits the table surface.
Yeah, I mean, as you do, and on it you read that there's missions to be read, and I will explain them in a second.
Yeah, cool.
But as heavy annoyed boots walk their way across a wooden bridge towards a certain someone, Gregory Forgefist, a Goliath standing at about 8 foot tall, built like a brick shithouse, hits like 1-2, is currently glaring at a gnome sat 10 feet across from his forge. You can hear annoyance in the hammer strokes as he hits metal and looks towards this person. He seems to have forgotten what he was doing. Colin, would you like to describe yourself and what you're doing at this moment?
I will absolutely do that. So, Colin is an elderly gnome. So he has got long, kind of like faded brown to greyish hair, a really long braided beard, into like one long braid. So it's not like, multiple small braids into one longer braided beard. He has got quite flowing locks, wears a circlet across his head, is wearing it looks like the armaments that he's wearing has been kind of concealed somewhat. So he is wearing chainmail armor, but donning a kind of a leather tabard and a leather tunic over the top, tied up with a high collar on the leather tunic. You can see that he has got scarring across both his cheek and down one of his eyes. His hands, looking at them, look like it looks like he's got quite spades for hands. Like his hands are huge and he's got quite thick, quite robust, thick fingers. And he's at the moment around 10 to 15 feet away from the entrance of the forge, with his back towards where the marketplace is, kind of on the outskirts where this forge has been situated. And he's got in front of him, he's kind of stood on a box, and he's got a kind of a cloth tarp open in front of him with different weapons and armaments in front of him. about 10-15 feet away from the general the forge, where the quartermaster Gregory is every day, where a lot of traveling adventurers come to get outfitted for their wares, to buy new things. And Colin takes great pleasure every morning waking up early and setting stall out in front of his forge, and he's just stood crossed armed staring across at Gregory, like. And as soon as adventurers go to walk into his forge, he goes, "Welcome, welcome, step right up. This is Colin Erskine's wares. Come and get your swords. Hey, mister, don't go over there. That has-been can't swing an axe, let alone a hammer. He'll charge you double." As, like, people are kind of walking off and, like, walking past and kind of eyeing up. And, I mean, a lot of people will, traditionally in this place, be pointed towards Gregory's forge, because he is, like, the master forge smith and the quartermaster for the Golden Company. So if anybody asks where the forge is, they genuinely go and recommend they go to him. So Colin takes great pleasure in, like, fucking with him daily. Like, every chance he can get. And as this... individual walks in, and I mean, Dan, you can describe what happens as this gentleman walks in, but Colin takes great interest in this adventurer walking into the forge.
Thanks. So, yeah, generally speaking, there's a lot of foot traffic going through the buildings. The forge itself outfits all gold companies with weapons, armor. It's all paid for and sort of not on the house, but you get your sword, your shield, and then you earn it back, and then once it's done, it's yours. Gregory has dwarves, elves, other people working with him, and each one of them, as they sort of take a piece of sheet metal from him, give Colin the same set of eyes as Gregory does not move from his perch outside the anvil. The sign above, I've just thought of this, the sign above his shop just reads, "Greg's the Forge." And it has 4 little squares, chain links together.
Greg's.
And as someone comes in to get sword repairs, so it seems like they just done something. It's chipped. They brought it in for repair. Gregory takes in, sort of goes, "You have damaged this greatly. How?" And the guy goes, "I was fighting monsters? You're lying to me. And I know you are." And most people come up to maybe his chest, so Greg is constantly looking down on people, and this loom seems to... This guy goes, "Yeah, all right, we were just fucking around the back with the swords. It's boring around here. I was just making a bit of gold." It's like, "I'm going to have to report you. You know this, don't you? This is terrible use of my work. Get out of here now." And he sort of starts shooing this very scared looking, like he couldn't be more than 20. Like, he's just been fucking around with the rest of his mates, hitting things with his sword, seeing what he can do. Like, he's joined new. And as he sort of like scampers away, he sort of looks towards Colin. He's like, "I've seen this guy before." He doesn't necessarily stop to do anything, but he is just walking out and then sort of away.
As soon as he kind of like walks off, I go, "Hey there, hey, whoa, a second there. Young adventurer, why don't you come on over here and tell old Colin what you had to deal with that ginormous sack of shit for. Hey, don't you know that he has been fiddling on the side with cheap metals? Honestly, I know."
Colin, don't besmirch the name of my work, Colin. I see you.
Here, I got a sword for you. Don't go back here. And I just kind of like reach down and pick one of the swords up off my thing.
Sort of like looks towards Greg and he's like he sort of does with so like he now wants to break the rules because it seems to be annoying someone who works for this place. He's like, "Yeah, all right, then what you got?" And he's like, "Coming over, so like."
"Hey, look, just this time only. You come and have a look, and whatever you want, it's on the house. But you make sure that next time you kill someone, you scream my name as you do it."
What the fuck?
Sorry, you want me to scream your name after I kill something?
Well, you're doing it, just so they know.
I don't want to scream your name while I'm doing it.
Hey, you want a free?
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm just going to.
Hey.
These swords are free anyway.
Hey now. And I just kind of go. I put my fat finger on his mouth and be like, there ain't no time for negative. Colin's like genuinely like reaching up as he does this. And hey.
And as you do, your finger doesn't quite make purchase, and you more just sort of drag your finger down his lip, and it sort of like makes the bottom one pop. He's like, just genuinely looks terrified.
Yeah. This ain't no place for negativity. You want to be part of the Golden Company? Then hey, you gotta scream people's names every now and again. Here, take a sword. Take whatever you like.
If I take it, can I leave?
I mean, yeah, as long as you promise not to go back to Gregory's place, I guess.
I mean, I just don't want you to touch my face anymore. I'm not gonna lie. It's way too early for that.
Hey, you go shop back at his forge, and he'll touch more than your face. And I'll pick a sword up and hand it to him and like shoo him off down the street.
As he takes the sword, he looks towards the forge and goes, I mean, yeah, if I'm lucky. And just like squats off his place.
And then sorry, go on.
And as he does, Trent nearly towards you as he sees this kid running with a sword, and you see him, and you just hear from the thing, Colin.
Oh, that's my cue. And I just grab the tarp from the ground and whip the tarp up, and it turns into a handy haversack. I whip it onto my back and just run like fuck it. I just dart off, like run off back into the main hall and run up to the table where these guys are, and just kind of like slide onto the bench, like morning. What a beautiful day.
Where have you been?
Oh, here, there. I kind of went for a run. Just,
You've been
exercise.
fucking with Greg again, haven't you?
Hey, look, he fucks with people all the time. Have you seen the cheap wares he sells?
Man. You should be nicer to him.
He's an asshole.
One of these days, he's gonna clump you.
I'd like to see him try. I'm gonna be honest. Hey, those gnomes can move pretty quick, like duck, weep, dodge, web.
Did you at least make any money this time?
What's for breakfast?
Colin, as you threw all your wares onto your back and started bolting, the only way between these two parts of the building is this bridge.
Yeah.
You kind of just, eyes down, ran straight past Trent as he went... He knows I can see him, right? Turns on his heel, and then gradually you hear the more annoyed stomps of Trent walking back across this sort of hollowed bridge as he comes towards your table and goes, I can see you when you run, right? Like, you ran past me.
Trent, good morning! Good to see ya! How long's it been? Yesterday, right?
Mr. Damascus has just delivered us our orders for the day.
Oh,
listen,
goody.
Colin, I have to be real with you. If you annoy Gregory much more, he's going to put his foot so far in you, he'll make you into a shoe. Now, can you stop annoying with the man? He's just a forge, like...
Hey, Trent, buddy, pal, hey, let's just table this discussion for another time. You neither want to talk about it, and I don't want to hear it, so let's do us both a favor, huh?
Fine.
Ooh, eggy bread! And I snatched the eggy bread out of his hand. And just start eating it.
Hey!
Right. You are the last lot I have to send out today, so... Look, I know it's a new buyer's basin today. There's a lot of new boat traffic, there's a lot of new sellers coming in and out of one side of the harbor. We have to get the other ones out. But before we do, I'm going to need you all to go over to the house of worship, the multi-face place. I need you to find out whatever's going on with the crack in front in the foundation, because it's been there for a while, and the dwarves we got in just aren't moving, and I've got people up my ass from hope and prosperity about what I'm doing about it. So if you can get there, get a report back to me as quickly as humanly possible. I know you all want to go out and check out the new stalls, see what's about. We all do, all right? I get it. But there's a little bit of work to do first. So,
how
go out there.
The report
do
you want? Like, do you want me to do my double-sided, like, small font? Like, I can whip that out for you real fast. Like, I could do a full-on.
How about you help some? I mean, not that Hyacinth, not that I don't appreciate your intimate detail into every facet of what you do. Perhaps if you just look over maybe Crumb as he writes something, and you can just help him with the grammar and the spell checking, and then I'll have something a little easier to digest.
Wait, hang on. You're putting me off report writing duty.
Oh shit! Hey, Trent,
Yeah,
I would
just.
No. And I pick up my drink and just immediately like. Oh.
Very serious about her reports.
You see like a flicker of like flame in her eyes. No, it's fine.
No, sorry, no, I misspoke. Sorry,
No, I can be
right.
on spell check duty.
Single-handedly.
I can do that.
You are I should be using your talents as best I can. You are the single greatest report maker I have ever had in this guild. So
did you not appreciate my 5,000 word essay on that ladder that fell down and all the health?
I appreciate it.
Okay.
I mean, who doesn't love health and safety? I get up for the stuff. Don't get me wrong. As Master of Arms here, I have to know.
Hey, safety's sexy, right?
Go get what you. I mean, sure. Yes. I mean, who doesn't love leather straps on things? It's great. Look. You know where the church is. Head out there. Talk to Romand. You've seen him before. He's the dwarf with the very large 10-gallon hat. Find him. Find out what the fuck he's doing. And do you know what? I'll give you... It shouldn't take more than an hour, so I'll give you 2. Have a quick wander. Just get your bearings. Get there, get back. And then you have the rest of the day to just do normal duties. Get out and about.
Hey,
sound good?
Trent, hey, good buddy, good pal. Usually this kind of job is for the lower ranked, newbies.
We will not let you down, Mr. Damascus. My name is not Rufus Velhagen. We will take on this valiant quest and complete it to the best of our ability. And if we die, remember us in song. I've written a couple down already, if I've got them.
Rufus, you hand your ceremonial music to our bards, and if you die looking at the crack in the floor, I will promise to put a plaque in your honor right next to it.
No crack will ever fell me.
It'll be Rufus's crack, and we will make sure everyone knows.
That would be an honor.
Trent, then, hey, sorry, good buddy, good pal. Hey, boss man, we're getting paid on this one, right? Because
Colin,
we're going out.
You get paid a wage, you know that, right?
Yeah. Oh, hey,
25th of every month.
Listen, we're not gonna kick over that old rock again. I don't think it's enough. You go, hey, it's a menial paying job for a menial paying wage. Hey, look, hey, buddy, God, boss. Let's just agree to disagree on this case. Can I get paid up front?
How about this, Colin? You don't annoy Gregory for the next 2 weeks. And you do this without giving me fucking lip again, and I will forward you your pay today. How about that?
I could do 2 hours.
Let's do 6 hours.
Let's meet in the middle and call it 2.
4 it is. And he shakes your hand.
I immediately just spin around as soon as he walks off and goes, hey guys, can we just kind of stretch this shit out for 4 hours? I'm on a bit of a tight deadline with this. I'm
still right here, Colin.
Oh, shit. Hey, boss man! Like I was saying, guys, the plan, I mean, let's get to the place and do the thing, right? Hey, go team! And he just, hops off and, starts sculling off away from the bench.
Is there any more food on anyone else's plates?
I mean, I can't imagine there's any food on Nala's because protein is
important
in the morning. So
she's finished off Hyacinth's as well. Apart from the pieces you took, she's taken the rest of it.
Yeah, Hyacinth has had nothing.
As Nala seems to be finishing off just bacon, eggs, chicken, just anything from anywhere. Nala, just make me a perception check, please.
That's not bad. That's a 15.
Cool. From the counter in the kitchen, you just see Brace just sort of head in his hand, just watching. And as you notice and sort of look towards him, he just gives you like a enjoying that. Like you can't hear what he's saying, but he seems to be enjoying you eating his food and seems to be very interested in, giving you protein.
Mouthfuls of food, she goes, and then carries on.
He looks beside himself with happiness, and you know why, but you don't really want to think about it. And then he just turns to carry on the kitchen. And yeah, as Colin scurries off to do what he does, Trent just sort of looks at you and goes, "Keep an eye on him. You'll find me here. Just come back when you're ready, okay? See you soon."
Do you think he realizes that statistically speaking, the odds of Greg besting him in physical combat is in Greg's favor by about 97.6%, and that he's really kind of being a bit,
I mean, and Trent sort of leans into the four of you. Look, don't tell him, but if you want to get in on him, we have a pool running for who's going to fucking hit who first, and who's going to, everyone's got money on Greg.
I'll take some of that action.
I'd be on the pool because he pisses me off too, so, I could do a twacking him too.
Well, if everybody's betting on Greg, then I guess I'll take a bet on Colin.
Right. Pub tonight, when you finished your shift, we'll, meet in the back. You can give me your contributions. I'll add you to the pool, all right? Now, be off. We got shit to do. And it's a new day, new buyer's market. Let's get excited.
Get
he
excited.
sort of turns, grabs his clipboard, and wanders into the hall somewhere to do a thing. Descriptive.
As he leaves, Crumb just silently looking down at his plate goes, I would fucking punch him for the fun of it.
Don't say that. He's our friend.
You can't punch friends now?
No! But listen, guys, I can tell that this is the one. This is the one we've been waiting for. The big adventure. The one that will put our names into legend. This crack is suspicious and very mysterious. It will definitely lead to the underworld, to the 9 hells, maybe. We must go immediately.
It's a crack.
Well, if it's just a random crack disappeared, there's a plethora of reasons why it's really exciting. Actually, I'd love to study the flooring of it and just see if it's a natural cause. He could be right. He could be.
Let's go.
I'm going too.
At this point, Hyacinth is standing up and goes to grab the leftover, the food on her plate, and she goes, "I could have sworn."
Crumb's gonna take the plate and lick it, and then leave it back and walk out.
I could have sworn I put food on there.
As everyone sort of wanders off, he sort of just walks up next to you and opens the little pouch, and he's got a few ham sandwiches in there. Don't worry, I got you.
Thank you.
Out of sight of Crumb and Nala.
So, what are we all doing?
Heading to the house of worship to investigate a crack.
Oh yeah, it's all
downhill from here.
You did this.
I did do this. It was intentional. So as you all convene back up with Colin and sort of walk towards the huge double doors of the guild hall, you open them up, and immediately it hits you, this First of all, it's the smell. There is foods of every kind, just the scents wafting through the air. And as you step out onto the sort of hard pavement, you see Moorhome stretched before you. It is literally a city of rivers. These long estuaries and channels and waterways broken up by small bits of land with like just odd buildings, people who generally live there, and then people who just hire them out. But it's very much a water-based city. Bridges expand across every conceivable gap, up, down, all around. There are flags of every kind just littering the sky on these sort of waving poles. You've got all the colors of, just every kind of color, every shape, every design. They're just littering the sky. Kites depicting sea monsters, dragons, fish, seem to be making of paper and of like rich colors, just sit and float and sort of wind and twist in the sea breeze. The sounds of harbor birds and their calls and flaps just sort of hit the air as you look around, and there are people everywhere of every kind, of every imaginable heritage you could think of, just carrying crates, boxes, talking, bartering, laughing, trying to get from one place to another. Between the bridges, as you start making your way towards the House of Faith, all churches in Vashoadan at this point are multi-faith. It's very rare you will find a church devoted to one god. They are just places where people can go to worship general deities if they need to. This one happens to be sort of slightly central, but to the southeast of the city. And as you start making your way down the crowded pavements, you hear the sounds of chickens and like food being cooked, people shouting, 2 for a pound, 2 for a pound. These fruits, you'll never find them anywhere else. Other people across the way saying things like, dishes from my land, they are exotic, they are great, and I will bring them to you for a menial price. There are weapons, magic items, people seeming to be selling cards for some reason. There's just everything you can imagine. You start making your way through the city, and as you cross bridges, there are huge, colorful tarps sort of littered between to keep the slightly, what would you call it, like the races that can't see very well in the dark, so they have shade to set their stalls up and stuff. It's very much everyone can sell everywhere kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you start making your way through this bustling, huge marketplace, looking at, in wonder, smelling the foods and the sights and the sounds, and it's breathtaking. A buyer's basin is what they call it. It's the name given to the city because people come to sell in the basin. Moorhome is the title, the buyer's basin is where you are, and it is a brand new one. New ships, new lands, new people, and there is a lot going on. Golden companies trying to herd sellers into certain areas. Water weighers, these individuals that look a bit like waders and gondoliers. They have like striped tops and big like wading boots. And their entire purpose is to control the flow of waters within certain sections. So as the rivers go, you have gates that sort of stop flow of water and basically halt traffic. As one set of gates closes, another set is formed across these little crossways, and the waterways essentially just make water move so that boats can move from one place to another, so they can settle them properly. No one crashes, sinks, upturns anyone else, and you have a lot to see and a lot to do.
How often do the buyers switch out? Is it truly daily, or are there any that are kind of long-staying?
It's monthly usually. So it often depends on the sea itself, so who can travel how fast from where, but generally speaking, it is within a 3 to 4 week period, you'll get a surge of new people coming through, and then the old ones turn out to take what they've bought and sold away, and they try and keep this sort of rotation pattern.
Okay, cool.
Crum's gonna go up to Nala and go, so you want chicken, beef, stew? What do you want?
Well, you know me, I'm not one to pay for stuff, so do I see any like stalls that have got like samples of stuff?
So the church itself is only about a 30-minute walk, but it gets longer because of the sheer volume of people around. Walking along sort of the bridges. So the way the islands and the waterways work, there's about a 10-foot gap between where the river is and where sort of you are stood. So you're looking down. It's not so much they're level with everyone. It's like locks and sort of things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
As you look down over the bridges as you're walking, you will see boats of every kind, and you'll see one with just a spit on it and just the largest looking hog you could possibly imagine, just slowly rotating. You'll see others with sort of hobs with 2 or 3 huge skillets and pans, and they're just flipping ungodly amounts of rice and what look like fish and prawns, and just with skill flipping it around, turning it over. There's people selling sweets. There's people selling... I mean, food is literally unlimited here. They are bringing everything from everywhere.
Yeah, so making her way, she is like towards the well, obviously not Colin, but the rest of them. She's towards the front of the group, swinging her barbell like beside her. She is just keeping an eye out for anyone that is giving away free samples, and if she finds that, she's going to take more than her share and hand some to Crumb as well.
I mean, people are more than willing to hand out, but they do look disappointed when you take it and then just keep moving. It's more of a sample and buy as opposed to sample.
Well, I'm like, when they hand me sample, I'm like, oh, thank you so much, as I just carry on. Like, I know they're expecting me to buy, but I'm saving that money. So she's just like, oh, you're so kind, thank you. And she then just paces on.
And almost like I would expect that we've always done through every time we walk through here. Like, as soon as she takes a sample, Crumb's holding his hand up so he can get a sample from her as she takes another one, and then they both walk out.
And as you do, there's a cacophony of samplers just from behind you as they're more than used to this. But yeah, you sort of make your way across these makeshift walkways between the boats, as they have these little gangplanks that sort of hook onto each one and create paths across the boats themselves, so you don't have to look down. You can just walk over the fronts of them.
Did you say there was oh, sorry.
No, carry on, go.
Did you say there was like sweet shops?
Oh yeah. So
okay.
Generally speaking, they tend to clump food in the same areas. You'll have like exotic fruit stalls. You'll have, it looks like a taffy pulling machine.
Oh, right. Okay. So for the most part, Rufus is kind of marching along elbows high, sort of saying, "Excuse me, look out below," because he's like quite a lot shorter than a lot of people, and just sort of yodeling away a ditty like as he goes along. And he's quite excited about where he's going, so he's remaining on task and not getting distracted by much, apart from when he spies a bag of marshmallows. And he goes up and he would like to buy a bag of marshmallows if he finds one.
Yeah, so you come up to two elven gentlemen. They seem to have this very brightly colored, like almost sweet shop. There's a big canopy in the front that's like red and white stripes, and they're stood there in little bow ties, sort of the braces and the little straw hats. And they go, "You look like a man who enjoys his sweets."
And as they've said that to him, so what's happened is Rufus has been sort of marching along elbows high, and he spotted the marshmallows, and he's kind of just started marching on the spot, like as his eyes widen.
Well, son, you seem to be eyeing my delectable sweets. Is there something I can do for you? Do you want some? These marshmallows are the finest around. The tastes change as you move.
We have a very important task to complete. So, you said the finest around? But anywhere?
I mean, if I do say so myself, sir, these marshmallows will change your life.
Definite snake oil salesman, this.
He sort of looks at his friends wandering off and says,
I suppose I could spare a minute to grab a bag. Sure, how much?
Well, your I just like the cut of your jib, kids. So we'll say just the one, or do you want a package deal? I can do you more.
Yeah, just the one, please. Thank you.
All right. Well, 1 gold, and I'll give you a bag of my finest marshmallows if you promise to come back later and try more.
Well, Rufus Valhagen always wants more marshmallows and always keeps his word, so you've got it.
And here you go, son. And he sort of he pulls out this long pole to hook, and sort of like a prize at a fair, he hooks one off like the top of the thing, and it's very nicely wrapped, little bow on the top, and you just see these marshmallows in the shapes of, like, they look like monsters, but they're cute because they're marshmallows and they're all like, you know, pudgy.
I assume like when Rufus grabs them, because of his size, it's more like a pillowcase full of very large mushrooms.
It's very much like, it's like a decorative fruit basket filled with marshmallows. So it's probably about a foot tall, and just like it's a basket full of marshmallows, but they are big.
Oh yeah, cool.
So these are it's not like a mouthful size. Like you'd have to take a fair few chomps to get through one. So you have this huge bag of marshmallows now.
Nice. And he'll just say, well, you just sold a bag of marshmallows to Rufus Valhagen, the last surviving member of the Jotun Yodelers. Remember that name.
Did you hear that, folks? I just sold marshmallows to Rufus
Valhagen.
Cool guy. The last of his kind. Come, he wants more. And so will you. Come. And he sort of starts like shooing you away. Now he's made the sales. Like, get out of here, kid.
Okay. So yeah, on that, and he's going to run to catch up with the rest of his friends, just eating fistfuls of marshmallows.
I mean, it's fist of marshmallow, like it's one.
Yes.
As we're traveling,
sugar all over his face by the time he catches up, and in his beard.
As we're traveling through the market, I'm keeping my eye out for a very particular thing. Anyone selling oars? Not paddles for boats, but as in like oars. I know that you know, but I had to make that distinction for people watching at home. Like, oh, he's a sailor. No. Like minerals.
That, to be fair,
like minerals or oars, or people that are selling like ingots and things.
So, as you sort of make your way out of what is sort of like the open air foods bit, you round a corner and it becomes more of a fine clothes area. Oars generally tend to get sold in the big basin in the middle. So all the rivers of Moorhome lead to this kind of large circular sort of basin where the bigger, stronger ships set up, which is where you would find people selling ingots, ores, the heavier things that would need a bigger ship to keep afloat.
Okay.
I mean, walking through what looks a bit like a fashion district, you see some sort of high-priced looking gems attached to like necklaces and things, but you're not in the right place for ore just yet.
Okay. Do I see anything? Do I see anything that has been made out of dianthum?
Ooh. Make me. It depends where you look. So you can make me a general perception to see if you notice the rock itself, or if you want to try and be a bit more intent, you can start pawing through people's wares.
I'm gonna go perception. It's a 17.
Yeah, that's fine. So general perception.
Yes, sir. I'm just keeping a watchful eye out just to make sure that
I know.
If I spot it, then I'm making a beeline for whoever's stall has something of that.
Sorry, did you roll? I didn't hear it. If you did,
17.
You cut out. Say that again.
17.
Thank you. There we go. Third time's a charm. Yeah. You feel like you do a few times, but what you believe to be dianthum is it's more of a colored stone that is the same sort of tone and shape sometimes, but it's not the actual thing you want. And you accost a few sellers who are like, "Excuse me, sir, do you want some of my earrings? You don't look the type, but I mean,
whoa. Hey, listen, pal, you take your salesman pitch elsewhere. Give me just 2 seconds."
And I pull out like this tiny and I'm like looking at the fucking thing, and I'm like an extended like magnifying monocle. Like, it's not the... And I kind of just put it down.
And this very sort of well-to-do looking human gentleman with like a monocle, a top hat that's a bit too small and seems to be attached to a band. He's sort of looking around, kind of unnerved by someone like seriously getting into himself. Like, you're making my store look bad. If you don't want anything, kindly fuck off.
Hey, if you think... Listen, buddy, and I kind of like place like a very strong, as he's leaning down, a very strong grip on his shoulder, be like, hey, if that's the only thing you want me to make look bad, I suggest you don't speak to me like that, okay? And I just kind of give him a cheeky like tap on the cheek and like let his shoulder go and turn and like wander off.
The monocle drops from his eye as he sort of watches you leave. He goes, well, I know. I'm going to report you, I know you work for Hearth and Home. This is not good.
Yeah, you're right. The name's Gregory. Now make sure you remember that. Just continue on.
After you sort of do this, the well-to-do gentleman sort of looks at the other sellers, and you see all of them sort of not recoil, but the stronger-looking people sat on these boats stand and just kind of cross their arms and just sort of make sure that whoever is doing the selling is now mildly guarded from this very aggressive gnome that is tromping his way across the fronts of their ships.
And he would be like, quite happily in his own, like, crumbling along, no problem at all. In his own.
Basically, we have a halfling going arms out as he's walking, and a gnome going thumbs up as he's walking.
All small races march.
Yeah. We have to for momentum, otherwise we'd just stop.
Exactly. So there's power walkers that you see.
Yeah. We have to. Like.
Yeah, and as you're both doing this, the other people who are trying to walk across the thing, they're like mildly shoved to the side, like, hey.
Excuse me, out of the way.
Hey, I'll walk in here.
But as you all make your way through the lower rivers, sort of checking out the ships, you eventually come to the northeast quadrant where the House of Faith resides. And it's on its own sort of small plinth of land. It's not a particularly auspicious building. They are very simple in design. There's sort of some stained glassing, but nothing that would signify a particular deity or religion. It is just very much a building that looks nice and well kept. And it's not meant to inspire anyone. You can just, go there. It's as is. Mm-hmm. And as you come up sort of across the left side, you see two dwarven men sort of stood, arms crossed, one holding one side of a rope, the other holding the other. And they seem to have barred off the walkway. And there's people sort of stood at this rope going, I need to get down there. My ship's this way. Come on, you are making this so difficult. I just want to sell things. Because there are other people like Rufus here. And these dwarves are like, nope. Nah, you can't go down this way, guys. The crack. It's not good. We're doing it for your protection. Stay where you are. They seem to be just holding this.
Hello, we are here to speak with Robert.
The two dwarves holding the rope look to each other and go, I'm sorry, what?
We are here to speak with Romand. We are from the Guild of Hearth and Home.
Oh, you're Trent's guys. Okay, is just you? Where's the rest of them?
They're right. Oh,
I was just going to say, I think at this point, like, everyone else is getting distracted by looking and inspecting jewels or getting samples and then Marshmallow. So, like, Hyacinth has been lingering right by the Hearth and Home for ages, like, too anxious to, like, approach just by herself. And then all of a sudden, Rufus marches up. And then she's just lingering back for a second to see what he does before stepping out of, like, the shadows near one of the boats and just kind of strolls behind. You took long enough. Oh my god, those marshmallows are huge.
They're lovely as well. Would you like one? And he shoves one in his mouth as he's saying it. And he's literally got like caster sugar all over his beard, down most of his chest.
And Nala and Crumb are like almost right behind them. And I'm just like, this one, try this one. This is really good. And as I'm swapping downwards, I forget how short you are. Oh, yeah. We're here for the crack.
Is that marshmallow? And Crumb grabs some marshmallow.
They're very
really
good.
Eat better than marshmallows. Marshmallows are no good for you. No nutrients in that.
They're like snow. They make me miss home.
Oh.
Oh.
But miss in a good way. I know you have a word for that, but I can't remember it right now.
I think one got stuck in my throat.
Punch him in the stomach.
Why would you eat the entire thing? Have you seen the size? I'm so sorry. Yeah, we're here to investigate the crack.
These two dwarves have just been watching this sort of go down. There's just a very high eyebrow from one of them. Like, are you sure you guys are here for your... You look a little ramshackle. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, that guy's covered in sugar.
Colin will be walking up at this point.
I'll present the paper orders from Trent Damascus.
Nala's also going to twist round her barbell so it's point down and lean on it, and she's going to put a sort of a stern face. And what exactly do you mean by that, little one?
This dwarf just looks at me and goes, well, hey, strong lady. I didn't mean to offend. I just, I expect a little bit more from Hearth and Home. It's fine. Terry, let go of your side. No, Jerry, you let go of yours. I've told you before, you are the opening bit. No, you are.
I'm going to walk under the rope.
Yeah, I'm going to mage hand to lift the rope from the middle and just walk under.
And genuinely, they just start arguing between the two of them as to who is supposed to move to let the rope go. As you all just sort of duck under the rope, seemingly ignored by the two of them.
As soon as Colin walks past, he goes, "At ease, gentlemen."
Yeah, Rudy toot to you too. Jerry, get over here. I've told you this 100 times. And you just hear this argument as you walk towards the front of the church.
Hey, Crumb.
And they say that we're ramshackled.
Yeah, Crumb, are they relatives of yours?
Don't be rude. Not all dwarves know each other.
Hey, whoa. Hey, it's not kind of what I meant. Just asking a friendly question there. Didn't mean to offend, good buddy. Just because if they are, then probably avoid them. Don't invite them for Christmas. Cousins, am I right? Anyway, we're here for the crack.
I miss my cousins.
Hey,
they're all dead. Just gives like you a little comforting squeeze on your shoulder.
Hey, I miss my cousins too. Hey, did I ever tell you about that time one of them died in a barrel rolling accident? Oh man, he just went down. Oh, anyway, good times.
Mine died in an avalanche.
Oh, so the crack.
It's the sad backstory. Showdown.
Shit.
Can we see a guy with a large Stetson hat? A dwarf with a large Stetson hat, anyway.
Yeah. So as you're walking around the side of the church, you very clearly see the break in the foundation. So you all know this fairly well. About a month ago, maybe a bit more, there was a bit of tectonic activity, and the town had like a very mini earthquake, but it put this hairline fracture in the foundation where the church was, and Trent called in stonemasons, which happened to be dwarves at the time, and they came, and they came in a week ago. It's now been 5 weeks since they've been there, and very little seems to have happened. As you sort of walk around, it's odd. A smell hits you. It's kind of acrid, almost a bit like tar, but there's a slight tinge to it, like rotted meat. And as you walk around, you see this hideous black ichor lining a very small portion of this crack now. And you see sort of 2 or 3 dwarves stood around it. The one you're looking for, Roman, he is this hench-looking dwarf. He's wearing like a, I don't know why I'm calling it a wife beater, but a wife beater. He's got sort of hair across the shoulders, chest, back. Big. I couldn't think of the name. And
for a vest,
all that came to mind.
You didn't know the word vest, so went with wife beater.
Hey man, thank you. That is DMing is hard. You forget words. I forgot the word vest.
You do. Just wait till the tweets come out, and then you'll be all over it.
There's a huge distinction between a vest and a wife beater. To be fair, it's a very specific type of vest.
Yeah, he's got a sort of very nice cream vest tucked into this sort of huge, thick belt with like a buckle on it with little horns. These dark blue jeans, huge-looking cowboy boots, and this massive hat. His beard is very long. It sort of comes to his stomach. His mustache is braided into it, and he's sort of got these sort of long sideburns as well that come out and curl to the sides. And as he's sort of looking at it, and these dwarves are sort of chattering amongst themselves about what it is, he sort of turns and goes, "Oh, well, hi there. You, I say you must be the guys from Hearth and Home. You want my report, I'm assuming. Trent's on my ass again?"
Yeah, well, actually, we're more here to get a report. Hey, I sent... she is actually the lead reporter on this, but if you wouldn't mind just...
You have a report prepared already?
No. The same way I've had a report for the past 4 weeks when I told the last lot of people who came down here that I don't know what's up with this crack. This is weird.
I mean, can't you just fill it in? I mean, that's what you do at cracks. You just fill it in, right?
Sorry, miss. Do you see this horrible black shit that's coming up through the bottom of your city?
No, I didn't.
I don't know what that is.
Could be a burst sewer.
No, it's somewhat different to that. One of my boys, it showed up about 3 or 4 days ago. It's been slowly getting longer and thicker, but one of my boys touched it, and his hand hasn't been right since. They don't get any better. Well, you may lose it. It looks like it's starting to rot.
Oh. Well.
Is he here?
Yeah. I don't really know what to tell you. I've called in a druid friend of mine from a couple of towns over to see if they can make sense of it, but travel takes a while, and they must be held up somewhere. But until I know what I'm dealing with, whatever this is, say again?
Can I take a look at him?
What, my boy?
Yeah.
Might be able to discern something from his wounds.
I mean, I took him to that Lizana lady who works up in your, thing, but...
Oh. Yeah, I know Santa. He's in good care if he's there.
Oh no, he's back. We didn't leave him.
He's back.
Oh yeah, he is. Hey Jerry, get over here.
I can't wait to have a look at this hand.
You sort of see this sort of... He looks far too happy for someone who seems to be having like a debilitating condition. He's a very young-looking dwarf. He's sort of got like a bad bowl-cut fade. His beard hasn't quite grown in yet. He's quite wide, but he doesn't seem to have the same amount of hair. He looks like a young dwarf. And as he walks over, he's like, "Yeah, what? Show him your hand, Jerry." And he sort of holds it out, and it doesn't move as he holds his arm out. The hand just flops. Like there seems to be no movement, no feeling. It's just limp against, like on the stump of his wrist. It's not great.
Seems he's got a case. Seems like he's got a case of the old floppy hand.
That is not the scientific name for whatever the fuck's going on here.
Hey,
yeah,
look.
Right, Colin, settle down. Jerry, sit down. You might gonna die, so let me look at you.
What?
Whoa! Hey, what?
Sorry, and at this point, Roman steps between the two. He's like, "What do you mean he's gonna? Who the hell are you? Why are you gonna hurt Jerry?"
No, I'm not gonna hurt him. I'm gonna try to cure him, but he might die if he doesn't get a cure. Just stand back, and I'll push him to the side. I'll sit Jerry down so that I can take a look at the arm.
Pardon, Crumb. He has not the best bedside manner, but he is very skilled.
I mean, I could cut it off if it's necessary.
No, right. I think everybody's jumping the gun a bit much here. Right. Crumb, don't speak. Do the medicine examining thing. I'm going to look at this. Rufus, entertain us and distract them from the idea that they now think they're going to die.
I can do more than that. Thank you very much. I'll come
I
down
know
and
you
check the
can.
crack
I was just saying that in this moment, it might be necessary.
Nobody knows more about natural geographical formations than I do.
As Hython said, Rufus entertain people. Somewhere in the back, you just hear like a banjo twang as like a dwarf looks over, is like, and then as he's like, as Rufus says he's going to do more, he's just like, it's not the time.
So could I sit Jerry down and take a look at this?
I mean, yeah. So you
to sort of
you take him over to the steps of the church and just sort of sit him on it as he sort of like just quite happily holds his withering hands, just like, yeah, it's weird. I want a lot of money at the knife hand, though. You know that game where you
bite this and pulls out a stick, puts it in his mouth, and I'm going to touch around the hand just to see where the sensitive parts are, if he's going to scream or not.
So roll me medicine, I'm going to say, on this one.
Right. Will do. Let's see. Cool. That is that is 30-20 for medicine.
Nice, very nice. As you sit him down and you sort of shove the stick in his mouth, and you sort of feel like, and he looks genuinely worried. He's trying to get Reman's attention, but Reman seems to have sort of moved off with Hyacinth to check out what she wants to look at. As you start sort of pressing your thumbs into the places where you would assume pain to like originate from, there is nothing. It's weird. It almost feels softer than it should. As you push, you feel flesh move through the hands of the bone a lot easier than they should. And he's not saying a word. Like you take his fingers, you sort of twist them a bit, sort of bend them around. He doesn't seem to notice anything. It's almost as if like there is just no feeling. And as you sort of go to check up his arm with the roll of a 20, it seems to be getting higher because you start sort of like grabbing bits of skin, trying to see if there's anything. And there's just nothing. Until you get to about just under the elbow, and then he sort of goes, "Eh." But up to that point, like his lower arm is essentially either numb or dead. But there is nothing in the way of feeling from him.
One more time, Dan. What noise did you make?
Just make sure. Make a note of that, everyone.
Yeah.
Does it smell like his arm is sort of rotting? You know, that sort of clear scent of rot?
There's no smell as of yet, but there's very obvious discoloration. So the fingers themselves it seems they've gone from sort of dark purple and bloated to blue to gray. And there's this sort of gradient of discoloration going from the tips of his fingers up. And it looks like it looks like what a dead body would look like if it had gone through the stages of decomposition, but rapidly.
Right.
He just sort of sits there and just wiggles it, but it's like, this is weird, right? He's spit the stick out at this point.
While I'm sort of looking over him, can I pop over and just without touching him, just at a glance, do I think that this seems to be the effect of some kind of poison?
Say that again, sorry.
Do I think that? Just by observing it, do I think that the sort of necrosis on his skin and stuff like that would I determine that to be the effect of some kind of poison? Because I have a speciality in poisons.
Make me a poison check then.
Okay, I'm going to use an expertise dice.
Your poison speciality. There we go. First expertise of the thing.
So that's a D4 because it only covers one of my expertise.
Yeah.
Ooh. So that's 18 on the dice, plus 2 on my expertise dice, plus 2 for a 22.
Nice.
Really good.
Specifically trying to determine whether it's a type of poison and whether it's the type of poison I've seen before. Particularly having spent quite a lot of time underground.
Yeah. So from what they've said and the fact that he is just... You don't know how much he touched this stuff. Roman said he touched it lightly. You don't know the extent to which he put his hand into this stuff. Mm-hmm. You can determine whatever has happened is a direct result of that. Mm-hmm. However, you don't know what that is. It does definitely seem to bear the resemblances of poison or like a disease of some kind.
Okay.
But nothing you know of would have taken effect this quickly. Gotcha. Like a lot of poisons settle in for a good couple of hours, then start to work through. This is rapid. If it's only happened in the last few days, whatever's going on is going to spread quick.
Nala?
Yeah, sorry, and you just noticed that she was just kind of staring off into space at this point. Sorry, yes.
Nala was doing reps.
I might be needing your help here quickly. Jerry, take the stick.
Oh, wait.
Hold on there.
Unfortunately, my friend might be right. The necrotic effect of whatever you touched is continuing to spread. You may feel a little better now, but you won't last much longer unless we... Well, you know.
Hey, Jerry, look, you had a good run. I'm going to go and check the crack.
I'm just going to say to Crumb that...
Jerry generally, like his face drains of color as he says that, as he's looking at his own, necrosis hand. He's like, am I going to die?
No.
Probably
you're not.
not.
Gonna die. You're not going to die, but you might lose a hand.
Just before we go any further, do we want to explain what an expertise die is? For those watching at home, because that's a new mechanic that was brought to us by our good friends over at Level Up 5th edition.
Yeah, sure, I'll take that because I was the one who used it. So, as I said during the intros when we were discussing our characters, my character has a number of specialities based on his skills and his intelligence. One of those specialities comes under the medicine skill, which is poisons. And if you make a check, like I did, where I was trying to determine whether something was poison, a result of poison, because I have a speciality in that skill under medicine, I would add a D4 to my medicine check, because that's an expertise dice, because I have a speciality in that specific area of medicine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's not to the entire skill; it's just to specific areas.
And there are also various ways where you can stack that, and it levels up the expertise dice. So if somebody has 2 lots of expertise in a particular skill or action or whatever it might be, it levels up from a D4 to a D6 and thereon. So, yeah.
That is a very interesting thing.
It is very cool. And it's fun when you get to use them.
Yeah.
So yeah, Nala's just going to say to Crumb, I don't think we should go straight to cut it off. I made that as a joke. We might be able to discover what that stuff is. And if we discover what that stuff is, maybe an antidote could be made. I don't know. That's not my area of expertise.
Gary, when did you get infected?
I mean, I like the muscly lady's idea. Can we just do that? I don't want to.
Son, when did you get infected? When did you touch the stuff?
I'm not your boy, but about 3-4 days ago, I think.
Oh, we might have a bit of time.
When it first came up, I got to the scene early. I was just, tidying up, and I saw it, and I thought, that's weird.
So you touched it?
I thought someone had just spilled something. Oh yeah, I just assumed someone had dropped something in the night and made a mess of our crack. So
did you touch it with the finger, or did you touch it with your whole hand?
Oh no, I mean, I palmed it. I wanted to see if I could just get it up in one go because they wouldn't allow it at the time. So I just thought, okay, I'll scoop it up.
Scoop it up.
So
I got a floppy hand.
yeah, well, the thing is, you have dead skin all the way up to your elbow, and it's increasing.
We might have a few days before you can, lose the arm. So
It depends how much of the arm he wants to lose.
I don't want to lose any. Can you just take me to that nice lady who works up there? She said she could help me. I don't want you to cut my arm off. Not here.
I agree with Nala. Let's continue our investigation
terrifying.
before we do anything too brash.
Can I approach Roman? Sorry, go on.
Yeah. So as these three are currently scaring a young dwarf boy with the idea of in-field surgery, we move over to Hyacinth, Roman, and Colin at the crack.
Yes.
So, hey, Roman, gonna have a. Sorry, Hyacinth, I know that obviously the reporting and the questioning is typically your realm of, what it is that we do here, but I have a few questions, if I may. I don't want to step on anyone's toes, but a few questions might help with the report, Firstly, Roman, where were you at the time of the crack first emerging?
Well, I was about 4 towns over doing stonemasonry. I was called in to fix this stuff. I thought you knew that. Tread brought us in to have a look at your foundation. I want to hear what had happened.
And can you got witnesses to testify to you not being here? This may be important later, Hassan. Just bear with me. I apologize. Can you have you got witnesses that can testify to that, sir?
He sort of leans over you a little bit, puts a hand to his head, and says, "Hey, Terry, Jerry, where were we about 5 weeks ago?"
Just put no
And
comment next to that. Hyacinth. Okay, sir. Hey, let's get back to business now. Listen, what is this field here usually used for?
Sorry, say that question again. You broke up.
What is this here field usually used for? This space here, is it?
I mean, I'm assuming for walking on. I mean, you've seen pavements before, right, son? This is a communal walking area in front of your place of worship. It's a road.
Hyacinth, just write down that the witness was sassy. Don't like
Hyacinth
that.
at this point has put away any thing of recording, any information, and is pulling out a pair of leather gloves and is kneeling and approaching the area and is kind of just doing a scan around and is looking for kind of signs of, because overhearing that the crack itself has gotten larger over time, any sign of instability in the foundations of the walkway, is being careful not to disrupt any material. And then her main point of interest is this black ichor and also the smell. Yeah.
So as you sort of pull out these leather gloves, you sort of hear, oh. Miss, can you just be careful touching that? You saw what happened to my boy over there. Yeah. And as you sort of get down to it, make me an investigation check. But do you have anything specific you could add to it potentially within your realm of skills?
So I have. Hang on, I don't know what I typed there. Bear with me. I put RES, and I don't know what that means. So give me 2 seconds.
RESPECT.
Yeah, I have proficiency and respect. Hang on.
No, you don't.
Shut up.
Colin certainly doesn't.
What was it? Investigation. I have it in research. That's what it was. No, so I think it just have to be a general investigation check because I've got a specialty in deciphering and general research. So,
all right, yeah. So just a general investigation check then.
Woo! Yeah, that's a nat 1, but it's for a 4.
Hey,
nice.
4.
Tell us all your secret master.
So as you bend down to look at this crack, that is exactly what it is. This is a big split in the earth.
Cool.
And that's about as much as you can tell. You don't really gauge anything.
Okay.
It's a stunning crack, though. It's a stunning crack.
It's phenomenal.
Admiring the stunning crack, I'm gonna I want to peer in, like look in to see if I can see anything below. And are we above a waterway? So am I seeing water as I look down, or is it
no? So generally, the way Moorhome is built, these stone sort of plinths of land between the rivers are very much attached to the bedrock of the streams come from the ocean, come from the mainland rivers and stuff. They sort of flow through.
Yeah, they're like roads,
not
and then
from
this
underneath.
is still solid ground. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So as you look again with that, you look down and it is just darkness. But as Roman sort of sees you looking around, he's like, I tried to gauge some depth when I first got here, but for the life of me, I cannot find the bottom of this thing, and that is strange because there should be a cave system, something underneath that has given way when this place shifted, but I cannot find a bottom to it, and it is worrying.
At that, she's gonna snap her fingers, and a spark is gonna flicker, and it separates into 3 small glowing orbs. I'm gonna cast dancing lights, and I'm gonna send them down.
How far can you send them down?
I think I can send them 120 feet. I can double check.
Yeah, 120 feet.
Yeah. So are you doing like one stop, then move one more on, and then one more on?
I'm going to send one. I'm going to kind of send them all down 10 feet.
Mm.
If I'm still seeing nothing, keep them going, and then I'm going to do like 30 feet, 60 feet, 90 feet. And then if that last one, I'm still not lighting anything up, I'm going to push them all down like as far as they can go.
Yeah. So Roman looks as well because he's interested to see what you gauge from this as well as him. And as he looks down, the first one drops to 30 feet and it's still there. It's still visible.
Okay.
You move the second one down to 60, still visible, but it's almost like the magic light is starting to dim slightly.
Okay.
The second you hit, again, you can't really gauge, but Roman has a better sort of track of depth just through stonemasonry. He sort of, as it hits about the 80 to 85 foot, that last one just vanishes completely. And as he looks at it, he goes, "Oh, we should have tried magic. That's strange."
Right, so there's some kind of magical interference at that point going down, because I should still be able to see that, at least just a flicker to the eye.
Yeah, that is concerning. And whatever this stuff is, I don't know where it's coming from. It seems to be bubbling up, but from what and where, I cannot find a source. We have gone to the beaches, we have gone to the cave systems around this place. We cannot find where this crack has come from. We cannot find its fault line. We cannot find the base. Wherever this thing leads, it is deep and it is beyond our reach, which I don't like because I know my way around rock.
That is strange. And kind of looking as the light, like the closer light, is the black ichor kind of like through, like on the walls, like around like the edges of the crack?
So as you go, as the lights go down, the sides of this, like, it's not big. It's maybe like a foot across, if that. It's like very narrow. But as you send the light down, the walls shimmer with this ichor, like it is coating this thing like a layer of tar. It is everywhere, and it doesn't. Like, again, going down, you can't tell how it's forced its way up, but it seems to have coated and sort of almost like it's clawed its way up, and it is now just clinging to the sides of this thing like it is everywhere.
Okay.
The crack itself isn't getting bigger. It's just that whatever is pushing its way up is now really pushing its way up.
And just in the time that I'm looking at it, sorry, I'm doing the smart character now, so I'm like, oh, I can ask the questions.
I was there.
Yeah, does it look as though the speed at which it's pushing up, it's visible like at the moment? Like, is it almost like peristalsis? Like I can see it rippling upwards as I look, or is it more just kind of? I get the impression that it's making its way up to the surface. Like how, like get a gauge on how rapid this spread is.
Looking at it from the way it is, you couldn't gauge any kind of speed simply because it's not in motion. It is just there. You can't tell if it was forced up through, say, like a geyser or something, and it's sort of pushed up and coated, or if it's slowly made its way up. There is a slight ripple to the outside, but generally speaking, it is just sort of like a slightly wavy surface. But there's no one thing that you would recognize as force, let's say, or movement, or that kind of thing. So while we're staring into the void, we are going to take a quick 15-minute break because I will keep going if I don't. So it is 7:45. We will come back at 8, and please join me for the second half because I'm not anywhere near as far ahead as I thought I was.
Never.
This is what happens.
This is D&D, brother.
8-week shot.
Hello and welcome back. So,
hello.
How we wooing?
So...
It's an affliction, right? You're mocking the afflicted right now.
As we do here on Tales on Tap.
Oh God, don't say that.
No, we don't. We love everyone equally. So, jumping straight back into our nasty crack.
Fuck.
Oh my God. That took me a minute.
Yeah. So you know what the funniest thing is? That you did the dive thing.
Yeah.
So and then as soon as you finished your sentence, you went, "Oh."
Never mind. I take that back.
I regret that.
So, DM, while Hyacinth is obviously looking over this, I want to look around because with this being outside of a temple, I want to know if there's any any of the priests or the monks or the cloth, people of the cloth, who are kind of onlooking, who are looking shifty, maybe.
So this area seems to have been fairly well sealed off by these these dwarven stonemasons. There's no foot traffic. There's no. You can hear sort of the bustle and the shouts and the cries of annoyed sellers who want to get through this place to get to certain areas, but they can't. So they have to go the long way around. But there's no normal foot traffic. All of you will know that these temples are usually only run by 2 or 3 people at a push. They're not housed so much as they are just minded because. It's sort of an open house for anyone and everyone to go there as long as there's someone to clean and that kind of jazz. I do have a name. Oh, I've closed it now. You haven't seen the caretaker as of yet. They're either inside or they're not here, but they're not around. There's no one else apart from these dwarves trying to inspect this area and seal it off.
Okay. I will then turn to Roman and go, hey, listen here, good buddy. Has anybody else apart from young Jim Bob over there put their hand in things they shouldn't in this hole?
Well, I say, friend, no one has. I mean, I was pretty close behind him once he decided to palm whatever the hell it was, and once I saw what was going on, I pretty much stopped anyone else touching it. It ain't spreading if that's what you're worried about. He is the only one afflicted so far.
That is exactly what I'm worried about, because let's say that he touches that and then he touches other people. That could be a contagion and how it could spread to other folk, and I have to say that if he goes putting his floppy hand all over people in the town, it could be getting all over the place. Maybe best to get one of your runners to go to, what's her name?
Anna.
Anna, thank you.
Miss Anna.
That's what I said. Just see whether or not she may have, contracted whatever this is.
I mean, we sent Jerry to her pretty much pretty much straight away after it happened. She didn't seem to know what it was, but people have touched him up to this point. I mean,
there are lives at stake here, son.
Hang on a second. Can I, like, at the speaker of like contagion and potential spread, can I have a closer look at? Because I rolled awfully on the actual like investigation of the crack itself, but looking at the ichor. So I've got a specialty in diseases and poisons. So I was just wondering if I could have a little look and see if it looks like it was direct contact with the ichor itself that caused it, or whether it does look like something that could be transmitted, whether that be through like touch or.
So are you looking at Jerry's hand, or are you looking at the ichor itself? Sorry.
I was going to look at the ichor itself because I know these guys are busy.
That's fine. So
chopping his hand off.
Yeah. So make.
We'll bring it over in a minute.
Just see. You. Look what I got.
I heard you wanted to take a look at this.
Can I give you a hand? Yeah. So roll your specialty. I'll say in diseases then. Roll it in disease.
Disease. Okay. Okay, that's pretty good. Wait, hang on. Medicine is that a wisdom check?
Yeah.
Yes, I think it is.
Okay. 17 plus 3. 20. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. So just to be clear, are you physically touching it with gloved hand?
I am going to get a pencil and lift it. That's going to be, and like bring it to me. That's the closest thing I'm getting to it.
When the DM says, do you touch it? You
no.
touch it.
I put gloves on and I use pencil and I go, look.
Okay, cool. So yeah, with that 20, as you take out one of your many pencils from a little pocket protector you have, and you kind of stick the lead side in. As you pull up, there's a viscosity to it. It doesn't come away straight away. It seems to, it sort of becomes like a little orb on the tip of your pencil, but there's little trails just continuously streaming down. It seems to not want to separate, or at a look, be very hard to separate as you keep moving it around, and these little strands get thinner and thinner until they snap off. And as you look at it on your pencil, it's hard to gauge what you are looking at. It has the sort of consistency of sort of mud or very thick kind of viscous materials, almost like not melted rubber, but
is it like a burnt marshmallow?
Like it's a little bit actually. It's kind of like melted sugar in a way. As you pull it, it stretches, and then as you're looking at it, you notice that your pencil is starting to discolor very quickly. And as this stuff rests on the wood of the pencil, you just see discoloration slowly creeping its way up it as it almost seems to rot or decay at an accelerated rate. As it just sort of travels up. You can't... If it is a disease, it's nothing like you've read about or heard of in sort of any sort of general studies you would have made in learning. This is quick, fast acting. Whatever it is seems to affect biological material.
Okay, and so, seeing it affect biological material like the wood of the pencil and Jerry's hand, I'm not noticing any like spore-like things coming off of it. Anything that could risk like being breathed in.
It doesn't seem to be. It almost looks like it's staining something. So it looks like it's sat on it and then it's starting to stain outwards, like if you dropped oil on something. It's just creeping its way through the makeup of whatever this is, and it's disconcerting to say the least.
I would hope that it doesn't like have some inhaling transmitted thing, because Crumb has literally gone.
I was going to say earlier. When Colin was like, has he touched anyone? Crumb was over there going, how does this feel?
I get the impression, Colin, that this is more of a if you touch the direct source, it corrodes away from all biological matter within.
I'm with you. I just didn't want to take any risks, you know.
No,
Could be dealing with a pandemic here.
I think we're okay, but I'm going to leave this pencil because I don't think that's going to be good for long. I just drop the pencil into the ichor and get out another one.
And as you do, it stops and it sticks where it is. And you watch the rest of the wood discolor all the way up as it seems to reconnect with the main body of the stuff. It just goes up at an accelerated rate, and you just watch the pencil crumble ever so slightly and then just snap in two, very gently.
Right, well, I think that's all we can discern from here. Maybe we report back to Trent and see if he's got any further missions for us.
Yeah, I'm going to make the recommendation that this area be evacuated. This isn't your responsibility as a Stones Guild. I think it's best to avoid this.
I don't like leaving a job undone. We'll keep the area guarded until you can get your men down this way and cordon it off yourself, I suppose. If one of you can report to that Louisiana lady for me, and if we're gonna have to give Jerry a new hand, so be it. But yeah, I wish I could tell you more. I really do, but I can't gauge nothing from this thing. And I've seen earthquake damage. I've seen, mountains split and stones break. This is out of my wheelhouse. I'm sorry.
Hearing him sort of talk about that kind of thing, given my heritage as a Mustburn halfling and my time underground and my familiarity with the earth and all of its movements, was I a witness to this small earthquake that occurred?
Everyone felt it. So you've been here long enough to have been there.
So it wasn't localized in this specific area. It was
no. So it happened
across the city.
It happened to the whole of Moorhome. So it was very small and very brief.
Okay.
But about 5-ish weeks ago, give or take, a lot of it may have been all of the show, and you haven't actually had any sort of you've not heard back anyway. Maybe higher ups have, but all of Moorhome shook. There was minor damage, a few buildings rattled, some windows broke, but this crack is what happened essentially. So something shifted and it just opened. You weren't here for it, but you felt it.
So can I then just either make like a nature or survival check to try and determine whether this does appear to be a natural formation, essentially, or whether it seems to have happened due to pressure from below bursting up, a sinkhole or an earthquake where it's sort of jagged, Is it like an up or down or a side to side?
So we'll do nature then, seeing as you're looking at the nature of stone.
Okay. Not great. That's 7.
Okay. It's hard. It's very hard to discern anything. The best you can sort of come to a conclusion of is that it looks more like a rip.
Okay.
Than it does. It looks like the rock has come apart, but as in one part moved and it ripped the ground.
Gotcha.
Instead of like a tectonic plate shifting and it's jagged, there is no sort of, it's a general look anyway, but there's no shifting of stone.
There's no like up or down or anything like that. Yeah. Got ya.
No. It's all level. Yeah.
Well, maybe before we leave, we should at least inquire with the people of the temple.
Yeah,
Oh, you must have been talking about that half the woman. She went home at least 4 weeks ago. She's been on my ass. I'm not gonna lie to you. She's probably at one of these things we put up because we can't let anyone through, and she wants to get in there and clean and make sure it's, but no one's going in there.
Is there anyone else who frequented this place other than her?
No, not that I've seen. She was the only one. And I've not seen her for at least a week. Maybe more.
This is definitely the only crack, right? You have checked around the temple and stuff.
Sorry, are you asking me if I checked for other cracks?
Inside the temple, maybe.
Yeah,
no, we've done a pretty thorough search. There is nothing else anywhere else. It's not. I thought the same thing as you. I thought maybe this bit of land was set on a fault or a cave system had opened up underneath, but it's just this tear. There's nothing around the back or the sides. There's nothing anywhere. I can't find where it leads. I told your friend Hyacinth here that I don't know where it goes. I cannot find the bottom, and I cannot find its depth. It is the strangest thing I've ever come across in all my years of stonemasonry, and that is a fair while.
Well, it's too thin for us to get down there to investigate any further.
Look, I wish I could tell you more. I really do, but you know as much as I do now. Unless you get someone in who understands this shit, I can't help you, I'm afraid.
Hyacinth?
Yeah.
Do you have any way of collecting a sample, or have your investigations led you to believe that would be a bad idea?
I mean, given the state of degradation on my pencil over there, I would hesitate to contain it in any way. I don't know what it's gonna degrade and what it's not. I think we may for now. I've got a thorough kind of investigation of that, and I've also been able to peer down, and there's some magical disruption about 85 feet down, so...
That doesn't sound good.
No, it doesn't. I don't like not knowing. But we can check in on Lysana. I need to pop up there anyway, so...
I think we bring young Johnny here with us, and...
That's Jerry.
That's what I said. I think we bring him with us, and, get him some proper care, especially if this thing is about to encroach on his vital organs as it gets further up towards his chest there, that he might be in further danger. So, Jim, you come with us, and we'll get you all patched up. And, hey, I think maybe we drop by Anna's place, and then from there we speak to Trent, we give him the report, and then, hey, guess what, folks? We're on to bigger and better things, but hey, I think you were right, Rufus. This is it. I think this is the big break we were looking for.
I think you're right as well. This is definitely some dark evil at work.
World-ending shit right now. We're in the thick of it. Not, hey, you see what I did there because of the ichor?
Not on our watch, though.
You are absolutely
Glorious,
right.
valiant adventurers that we are, right, guys?
We are still talking about the hole in the ground, right?
Just
yes, the
ignore
hole
them.
of death.
It could kill everybody.
The crack of death.
I mean...
Bringing forth evil that no one has ever seen or heard of before, but we're gonna stop it.
I'm so excited.
I mean,
can I see any...
Truly the most interesting part that's come this way. If you're taking Jerry to Hearth and Home, I'm coming with you, because, well, I ain't just letting you take my boy through the streets to potentially lose an arm. So, do what you need to do, and I'll be over by Jerry and Terry figuring out which one needs to open the thing.
Now, which one?
Tips his 10-gallon hat to the lot of you and goes and starts walking towards Jerry.
I'll take the stick out of Jerry's mouth, wipe it off my clothes a little bit, and put it back.
Well, guys, what do we think?
Comes over, he's just like, they want to take my arm. What?
What do we think?
Well, I think there's definitely some spooky shit going on. Other than that, I have no idea.
I mean, I'm not familiar with anything that this could be. I'm interested to find out, but I think for now, I want to know what Lysana thinks. She's extremely good at what she does, so she may have a bit more of an understanding. What is his name? I blanked out a little bit. I can't remember his name.
Oh, that's Roland.
I don't trust you with names.
Don't steal my bit.
Is this with the
team? Just see what she has to say, and then we report back to Trent. I'll get the report written with what we know.
Well, let's get a move on then. The state of the world is at stake.
I am right behind you, Rufus. Let's go. And again.
All right. I guess they're off.
And as the two shorter members of the party power walk away with all the glory that comes with it, the rest of you sort of follow suit. Take Roman and Jerry with you and sort of make your way through the streets, taking the high roads this time, because it's a slightly shorter journey as if you don't go through the boat, the narrow ways where all the ships are. And as you make your way back to Hearth at Home and get through the big double doors, you see Trent talking with a very large, auspicious-looking man. He's kind of like an old English lord. He's wearing sort of very fine red velvets lined with fur and gold filigree, sort of big buckled shoes and like a big ruffle on his chest. And Trent's looking less than thrilled that he's there, but is putting up friendly conversation. And as you walk in, you just sort of hear, "Look, I don't know where he's gone. I'm sorry, Alistair, but you know what your boy is like." And this gentleman sort of turns, and you see that he's a hobgoblin gentleman, sort of dark red skin, sort of slightly pointed ears, these huge mutton chops, and he's bald on top, but sort of hair around the side. And look, I know what my boy is like, Trent. Don't get me wrong. I filled his head with plenty of ideas of heroism, but he wanders off all the time. I thought I was bringing him here to get you to train him. And as this sort of conversation continues, you walk in and sort of overhear this going on.
We're back.
We have a report.
You've never seen Trent look so happy to hear you say something as he turns like, you have Alistair. I mean, you know Alistair Silverstair. You are all very familiar with Alistair Silverstair, known for two things. After the Mercy Wars, he is cited with being the salesman who brought Moorhome back into its prosperity. He's old, he's friendly, and he's willing to throw money around, but he's very out of touch. Mm-hmm. And he's also known for having one of the most awkward names to say anywhere around. And he sort of turns to you and goes, fellow Golden Company man, I remember you lot from, well, I don't remember you specifically, but I remember when Hearth and Home was first around, Golden Companies were being made. Sorry, I've not introduced myself to you all. Alistair Silverstair, at your service.
Well,
you're at mine, but you know what I mean.
Well, Frogadier Gigadad, my name is Colin. This here's my friends. We got Rufus here.
There is no need for introductions. We know exactly who you are, Alistair Silverstair. I've heard all the legends and the stories about how you brought commerce to this world. You are a living legend. It is an honor to meet you. I am Rufus Valhagen.
As he turns to look at you properly, Rufus, you see he's like leaning very heavily on a cane, but like the biggest smile comes across his face because nothing makes Alistair happier than knowing his stories and his legends. And he's like,
I have speciality in legends.
a man of history and a man of fine valor. Rufus, was it?
Rufus Valhagen, the last surviving member of the Jotun Yodelers.
I think I remember the Van Halens. They were there during the...
Valhagen! You're not the only one with a difficult name to say.
Good name.
Thank you.
I remember. I feel like I remember your clan. Brave minstrels leading us into battle during Unidona's reign.
Quite possibly. We're from very far up north. But these are the rest of our friends. This is Hyacinth.
Hyacinth Avonlea, pleasure to meet you, I suppose. A man of such esteem.
You suppose correctly. It's a pleasure to meet you too, Hyacinth. You seem like an educated young woman.
I would declare myself such, yeah, absolutely.
I can spot us. I can spot a keen mind a mile away, just like my own. I reckon we have many things to discuss.
I'm sure we do.
The big attractive one is Nala.
And as he says that, you see him generally sort of lean back and say, "Oh, well, you are a tall drink of water, aren't you? Nala, was it?"
Nala. Oh, I can't remember. Starlight, that's it. Nala Starlight. I got my own
taken
name.
aback by his legend that you forget your own name. And the other one is Crumb.
The small one. The other small one.
Crumb, I see. You are stern man. Strong stuff, I can tell. You are men of the cloth as well. That is a Olwyn's insignia, if I'm not mistaken. Good show. Glad to hear it all. Sanctorum.
You okay,
I need
Crumb?
chicken. And he walks off.
Sunny personality, like all of them. Anyway.
I'm sorry, Colin, I interrupted you. Forgive me, I'm just so taken aback to be in his presence.
No, don't. Hey, listen, Rufus, I get it. When we're with all the mighty fine folk, it takes a moment. Hi, Alistair Silverstair, right?
You know your names well, good sir. Yes, that is me, Alistair Silverstair.
I kind of tend to see where Crumb went and just be like, he's introduced himself like 3 times.
Yeah. And I literally hearing that from Hyacinth, I just shoot her a wink like, I got it.
As these introductions are being made, and Alistair sort of like puts the cane down heavily and sort of walks forward, you just see you see Trent behind him, just like yes, introduce yourselves, be kind, be good.
Can I see if
doing well?
Can I see if Alistair is wearing any weaponry?
Make me a perception check.
17.
Say again, sorry.
17.
Okay. Not even, the closest thing he has to a weapon would be a very heavy, gaudy-looking gold chain, but he has nothing on him. He is very much a high lord of sorts. He doesn't wear.
That you think that's a weapon.
I mean, you swing it. You swing a chain hard enough, you're going to take someone's eye out. It's fine.
Hey,
he is very much. He is very much like money and high lord stuff. He is not armed in the slightest.
Hey, Alistair, look, I don't mean to encroach on your, self there, but I noticed that you don't have any weapons of self-defense. I have many of. Hey, look. Let me hook you up with one of my finest daggers. Now, I know what you're gonna say. Oh, I don't think I'll ever need to use that. But hey, you'd be wrong once. Alright? So I'd rather you be right 1,000 times than be wrong once and never see another right time again. So hey, hold on a minute. And I reach into my haversack and pull a dagger out, spin it in my fingers and hold it and be like, it would be my greatest honor if you would wear this in memory of our group and our fortuitous meeting today, sir.
I can appreciate a shrewd businessman as much as the next one. You have the buyer's wit about you, don't you, young Colin?
Nah, listen, there ain't gonna be no coin passing hands here today, Alistair. You just put that on your waist, and you just make sure that when you kill the next thing that you stab it with, you scream out my name. All right. And I just kind of like pat him on the arm as I walk by.
Yeah, you just see from the bridge, you just see Gregor from the bridge glaring at him, and then just sort of slides away from the corner.
I didn't mean to overhear, but did I hear that your boy's missing?
Actually, I was just talking to I was just talking to Trent right now. You might be the perfect people to go find my Vincent. And at the drop of the name Vincent, you can make a group intelligence check if you want, but collectively your eyes roll because you know exactly who Vincent Silverstare is. He is Alistair's only son. He is a hobgoblin. He is generically handsome and incredibly thick. He has lived his life in the lap of luxury under his father's gold. He has heard all the hero stories, all the tales, and fancies himself a hero unlike any other. Obviously, he was brought into the Guild of Hearth and Home under Daddy Dearest's request, and is generally passed around between groups because he doesn't last long. Bless his heart. He tries, but he just doesn't, because whenever you go somewhere, he will go in the absolute opposite direction, looking for more heroic deeds because what he's doing is below him. He is just one of those people. He has ideas above his station.
Nice.
Okay.
And as Alistair sort of starts trying to get you involved in this, Trent sort of comes out and goes, "That's actually not a bad idea, Alistair. You 5 might actually, well, when Crumb gets back from filling his face with chicken, you 5 might actually be able to find him. He was with one of the wall companies this morning, and farmers talk as they will. Apparently, feral owl bears been spotted rampaging through some of the low-lying farmland. It's making a bit of mess of things, and he feels himself the one to be able to do it. You know what?" And as he sort of starts going into a spiel about, you know what he's like, he sort of turns like, "And you know he's got the best interests of the farmers at heart, but he's a little bit sure of himself, so maybe go track him down for me?"
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Trent. You got the best 5 people on hand to make sure that we go and give him backup. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to go and we're going to back him up because he's the best of us. Isn't that right, Alistair? And I just kind of like push him a little bit.
You honor us by entrusting us with the future legacy of the Silverstare name.
Alistair sort of, as you sort of like pat him on the stomach, you sort of watch it like jiggle ever so slightly because he is a very big man. And as it sort of like comes to settle, he looks down at you and says, "Look, I am not ignorant." He's not Welsh.
The other one, that's
character.
"Look, I'm not ignorant to my boy's affliction. Unfortunately, he was not born with my brain. But he is my only son, so I know I am taking a new buyer's basin from you, so how about this? You track down my son for me, bring him back, don't tell him he's in trouble, I'll bollock him myself when he gets back. And it's 50 gold on top of your paper." I keep going Welsh and I cannot stop it. It's really getting on my tits.
Tetris.
It's fine, just keep going with it.
Find my boy, bring him back, and I will give you 50 gold each on top of your normal pay packet, and I will work out with Trent a day off. How about it? How does that sound?
Hey.
And Trent sort of looks at him like, "Stop making deals on my behalf." But as he lists, he's like, "No, it's not a bad shout, actually. How about it? I know it's a pain in the ass, but we need to get him back."
Well, hey, I don't speak for the rest of the group, but my rate for going and supporting somebody in their epic ventures is 50 gold, but the actual return of them afterwards it's a little bit more steep. You got to take into consideration.
Chicken comes flying your way.
Got to take into consider rations, the amount of days travel. I mean, there's wear and tear on equipment. I mean, this stuff's not cheap, you know. Plus all the obviously emotional damage that this is going to do if the thing went wrong. I mean, who's going to pay for therapy? Look, let's call it 100 gold pieces each and the day off, and we'll make sure your boy gets back here lickety-split. What do you say?
You genuinely, Trent folds his arms and looks at you as if he's about to go into like, he's literally about 3 hours away. Stop trying your fucking luck. But Alistair just goes, "A shrewd businessman indeed. I like the cut of your jib, Colin. Fine. I have money to spare. 100 gold each, and a day off. But my boy, best come back.
You got
Not
it.
a scratch on him.
Definitely won't be any scratches.
No, then you have yourself a deal.
Personally,
and he puts a very, very chubby, thick-fingered hand down to you.
Grab, because of how like meaty and like thick my hands are, I'll probably just grab like 2 fingers and shake it.
And he sort of he squeezes the 2 fingers you've grabbed, and he's kind of doing the finger guns to you now. He's like, a deal well made. Right.
Like, hey, whoa, hey. Like I said, I don't speak for the rest of them. You guys good with this?
At this point, you see that Hyacinth has sat down at the nearest table, still in earshot, and is currently on like page 30 of like scribbles and anatomically correct like diagrams of Jerry's arm, the crack, like the ichor, what happened to the pencil. And she's like, what?
As Colin sort of gestures towards you, just see Trent look at you, Hyacinth, and he just goes.
Rufus will like climb up on one of the nearby tables and just say,
a fine reward for a fine adventure, but I will pass on the day off. Evil never sleeps. Evil never rests.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely throwing my chicken at that dude. I have a bucket. I'm coming back with basically a medieval KFC.
I mean,
just in a real.
I mean,
bucket.
genuinely, by this point, like the dinner spread is starting to be put out. So yeah, there is a version of Kentucky Fried Chicken just on a platter. Next to it, some salad. Like it's being laid out now. But yeah,
this is amazing.
Chicken if you wish.
Yeah, definitely.
And as you say this stirring speech, Rufus, a drumstick just hits your chest and falls to the floor.
I'll try and catch it and see if it's got anything left on it. And throw it.
Make a dex check, see if you can catch it.
Okay.
It sticks to your beard.
5.
There's now so much sugar. You know what, with a 5 and the amount of marshmallows you've eaten, you don't catch it with your hands. It just hits your beard and stays perfectly in place. It doesn't even drop slightly. It is just engrossed in the sugar that is now consuming you.
I'll save that for later.
I love that. Right. Hey, should we get a move on then, folks?
What are we doing?
We're heading out to.
Trent, here you go. Done.
We have to find Vincent.
We are going to find the future patriarch of the Silver Stair name from a vicious owlbear.
Here. And you see sort of Alistair raise his cane, slightly wobble, throw it back to the floor, and like it bends slightly. Like, Trent, I trust you to rally your band here. I'm going to go get myself some egg bread. I think it's high time I ate. And he sort of like clicks away and Trent sort of gathers you all and is like, right, he's going to make good on the deal he's made for you, all right? I can't imagine he's got very far on foot. I'll make sure there's transport for you in his general direction. It's on the word of the company he was with. He was heading towards some of the low-lying southwesterly farms, so shouldn't be too far. It's close to here. If you actually, before you leave, go talk to... Well, I can't remember my own character's name. Oh, that's annoying. Sorry, I need to look up a name.
Lizana?
Oh, there we go. That's it. I remembered all on my own. Before you leave, go talk to Almast, okay? He's got small tracker. It's in case of these situations. Hyacinth, you know where he'll be. He'll be with Lair, somewhere close to that side.
Okay. We can do that. Is it
and Hyacinth, you are very aware
who... tracker for Vincent?
Well, I mean, look, after the first 3 times, we thought, look, we'll give him a weapon with you know, like it's close range, so you'll have to go close to where he is. But once you get there, it'll start pointing you in the direction of where his sword is. We hid it in there. He's
slow jacked.
A wanderer.
The kid.
No, that makes sense. That's a sufficient way of finding him.
They've put a tag on him. I mean, you know, if your kid keeps wandering off in search of fucking bandits and owlbears, you've got to do it at some point. He just wasn't going to come back.
Fair.
So, I know I've taken the basin away from you, but you will get your gold and your day off to enjoy it afterwards. Just do this for me, and I will owe you a lot.
Okay.
And then he looks directly at Colin and goes, "Not that much."
Well, there's actually a bit of business that we need to take care of. And I just hold my hand out.
In the hour you were gone, I didn't get your pay packet together. And you've still not, and I'm still waiting on the time limit for your...
Hey, whoa. You said up front.
I did say up front. I didn't
say up front.
Today.
No, up front. That's the deal.
I said up front, you failed to set the time period. You will get it when I've got it.
This is why I hate making deals with big folk. Fine. And he just kind of like gets up off the chair and goes, "Right, well, let's go."
Yes, right. Go see how...
Walks past Trent.
I swear to fucking God, Colin, do not start with me. And he sort of like, he looks to the other four and like, "Go see Almas, get the tracker, and head towards the southwesterly gate. There'll be travel waiting for you, all right? See you soon. Good luck. If there's an actual owlbear out there, try and kill it, I suppose."
Oh, I can do that. And she slings the barbell over her shoulder.
I can't.
Why not?
You just see like the idea of like physical combat is making Hyacinth shake.
Don't worry.
You'll be fine. And she kind of ruffles your hair as she then heads out the door.
Not all owlbears are nasty.
No, but they're all nasty to eat. And I walk out.
Okay.
As everyone starts to leave, Trent just turns south and goes, "Do you mind going to collect what I asked them to collect and then going to them?"
Fine.
Thanks. And he just sort of like nods wearily, turns to try and find some other work to do, and just walks into the guild.
Okay, so we need to go see this. What was it?
Almast.
Almast.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm. So you're all familiar. So you're all very familiar with Almast Ridge and Lair. So Almast Ridge is the high wizard for this guild. There's a lot of spells that dampen silence, like not dampen sound, and sort of create areas of less noise. So like, there's a spell circle over the fort, so none of the sort of fire roars or hammering of metal travels further than that. Same with some of the kitchen. There's general sort of things to keep the place homely. You know, eternal flames, that kind of thing. Just like there's upkeep spells that need upkeeping, and Almast is the one who does that, along with Lair, his understudy, let's say. And they will, make a general investigation check to sort of, as you're walking around the guild. Who is actually walking around the guild? So I know Nala and Colin have left.
Yeah, we'll wait outside for them.
Okay.
I'm going to.
Yeah.
Almast.
Yeah,
I'll go with Almast as well.
All right.
I'll go to Almast.
Yeah. So if all three of you just roll. Actually, what are your passive perceptions?
15.
12.
10.
But my passive investigation 16.
Oh, good. You spot dirt. It's incredible dirt.
Oh, really? Because I would be very interested by that, actually.
So walking through. So One bridge led to the forge. The other side led to sort of the library / medicine area, sort of like the bunks and beds and that kind of thing. Walking to the other side through the walking through the sort of tunnel bridge, you very quickly come across them tinkering with sort of runes and spells across a doorway. Almast Ridge is he's sort of late 50s, early 60s human. Looks like the most old-fashioned punk you have ever seen. He is like grade 1 red hair. He is pierced through his ears like snake bites, one through his nose. He's tattooed from his neck down. He's wearing like this really sort of old shabby leather vest, sort of like a net shirt underneath. His trousers and belts are sort of spiked. He looks like he's wearing New Rocks. They are just these huge, thick boots. And as he's sort of like tinkering with this, archway, you see Lair next to him. Now, no one has ever actually found out what their second name is, or heard her talk. She is mute for all intents and purposes, but communicates through telepathy. She is much younger looking, sort of dark skin. She's half elven, pointed ears. Again, the most typical goth you could imagine. So this sort of very old English sort of dress, huge sort of bustle and corset, blacks and purples, like sort of nets around the wrists. Again, minor piercings compared to Almast, but sort of in the ears and a few on the lips. Long black hair that sort of falls into a curl at her shoulders, and it sort of fades from purple to black as it goes to the top. Can't remember what they're called now, but the flicks and the all of that jazz. Like, she's a very just a goth, essentially. A punk and a goth are now working on an archway using magic. And as you sort of approach them, Almas turns to you and goes, "Oh, you're right. Hyacinth, how you doing?"
Hi, I'm doing all right. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. Simple day, innit? Just checking on the fucking runes, making sure this place is upkept.
Added anything new today, or
teaching a bit of magic?
Keeping it standard, adding anything new, anything exciting?
I mean, look, don't tell Trent, but I'm thinking of like taking one of the rooms that's not usually used and maybe getting a bit of, funky lighting in there, darken it down a bit. Comfortable chairs, just where we can go and, relax before, the day starts. Get a bit of drink in there, get a bit of the happy herbs, that kind of shit.
I like
it's
that.
Be great.
I like that idea. If there's anything I can do to help, you let me know, okay?
Oh, I'm straight up. I know you're the first person I'm coming to, but just keep it on the down level, right? Because I don't want fucking Trent getting involved and trying to get rid of my den.
No, absolutely not. No,
but from what I've heard and fucking... Say again, sorry.
I said this is just a safe space.
He sort of looks at you like... He sort of taps his nose and... But I'm imagining, from what I've heard, and fucking Moneybags out there talking about his idiot boy again, you're here for his tracker.
Yeah, the Nepo baby is off at it again, so probably go track him down. That's our task today.
Well, I mean, look, if he gets his, if he fucking loses an arm, the world's a better place. But yeah, and he sort of reaches into like a small leather pouch on his belt, and it looks like a stone essentially, and it's got like some very small runes and sort of placed in, like on it, and he's just, when you're within about a mile of him, give or take, this thing will start to move in his general direction. Just hold it in your palm, keep it flat, and it'll start gradually moving. And as long as you follow it, you'll find the pommel of his fucking sword. And hopefully the idiot attached to it.
Noted. Oh yeah, I was gonna ask, I've been working on a couple new spells recently.
Oh yeah, always.
Yeah, I wanna, with this new kind of addition to the den, I was wondering if I could maybe have like a fire pit.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, we can keep it from spreading too far. Magic fire doesn't necessarily have to burn things.
Yeah, I
I reckon we could do that, actually.
Dear, from old legends I've read about looking into flames and seeing things, I really want to give it a go. And some of the,
I've heard of people seeing... Yeah. I know there were fire seers back in the day.
Yeah.
You don't really get that practice much anymore, but I think I can find a man who's got a few things we can have a quick chew on, and maybe we will see things in the flames.
That's exactly what I was hoping, maybe something to help the process, a catalyst.
Yeah.
For scientific purposes.
Yeah, expand the mind and all that. I know, I get exactly where you're coming from. Don't you worry. I got my sources. And as he sort of looks at you, he looks down and says, "You're all right, Rufus? Not seeing you down the pub lately. I thought you'd be playing more. I miss your music."
Oh, well, I will hopefully be back there soon with a few more ballads to sing. We are about to go on a very important mission.
All I know is, if you expand your mind, as it were, your music can get really good. There was a band up in Open, fucking whatever it's called, and they were a bit boring to begin with. They had bowl cuts, but then they had some drugs, and basically their music got really fucking good. So maybe if you do that.
Actually, I was wondering if maybe your magic could help me. I've been hoping to amplify my voice a little bit more, so maybe you could get me some kind of horn that goes up to 11?
Oh, that is amazing.
I have inspiration for that, because that was fucking incredible.
Honestly, I think I've fucking met this
whole time
guy
I've been thinking
in real
Spinal
life.
Tap Wizard is the best NPC I've ever seen.
A horn that goes up to 11. That's not a bad show, because normally they only go up to 10.
Yeah, this one only goes up to 10. And I think maybe if
it goes up to 11, that's
what I was thinking.
That's a shout. All right, look, when I make my den, I'll get you an 11 on, and then you can play, and we'll just get you fucking rocking this place. This is going to be yeah.
It sounds wonderful.
Look, you go do what you got to do. Find fucking stupid rich boy. Come back here, and we'll start having a little bit of a relax. How about that? And then we'll get on our way.
Sounds wonderful to me. You can take care of most of the relaxing if you want. I'm okay. I have marshmallows.
Nah, don't worry. I've got a brownie, man. If you want something sweet, don't worry about that. I can.
Now you're talking.
He really does make amazing brownies.
Oh yeah, I've got a baker down on the side. She is phenomenal with making her brownies. No, I'm getting hungry now. Right, you lot bug off before you make me want to smoke on the job and get, in trouble. And I will see you later.
Sounds good.
Listen, and in this entire time, as you've been sort of like talking this drug den, Lara's just been stood, just watching, like the smallest smile on her face, but there is very little in the way of like expression or emotion. She's very much keeping the vibe in check with her look.
As we're beginning to leave, I'm going to telepathically communicate with Lair, because I can do that with anyone within 30 feet. As a must-ban halfling, thank you, Advanced 5e. And I'll just telepathically communicate to Lair. It was nice to see you, Lair.
Is his voice that annoying in his head as well? Oh
yeah, even more so, because it's like right in there. Like.
Yeah.
Sorry, you cut out a little bit. Did you say hi?
No, it's nice to see you, Lair. It was nice to see you, Lair.
Okay. In your head, you just hear, "It was nice to see you too, Rufus. I do look forward to hearing your horn goes to 11.
So do I."
And she gives you like the smallest wry smile as the two of them turn back to this archway and start essentially just reigniting the rooms in whatever they're doing. And yeah. But while this has been going on, Nala, Colin, outside. what are you up to?
I'll probably just be kind of like stood talking to Nala, really. Like, hey, you're on the same page as me, right? We're not allowed to, like, bring him back with, like, scratches, but if his fucking arm's missing or he's missing, like, an eye or some shit, that's completely on the table, right? Just, look, I mean, the details in the fine print, right? He said no scratches. Even if he has a scratch, we just fucking cut where the scratch is, and then it's a cut, right? It ain't a scratch. I mean, I want to get paid, baby.
I want to get paid just as much as you do, but I do think that would not go over well. I say that if he is hurt, we take him to a healer before we return him, and then no one will know.
Hey, you know, I always thought that I was the smart one in this bunch, but you got some brains on you as well as brawn. Hell yeah.
That's never been said to me before, but thank you for saying it.
You know, I hear that a lot. A lot of people say I say things that they've never heard before, but, you know, I just kind of think that it's my charm, you know? The ladies love it.
Yeah. What you call it?
Hey, look, if I switched it on, you'd know.
Oh. No.
Yeah, what is this fucking group? What is
We're not
this
doing that.
Group?
Hey, look, hey, look, I'd never do that unless you wanted me to, and you always might want me to. So look, let's table that for now. Look, when they get back, we're about to go out to a farm and that, like, I had a really unfortunate incident once where I, like, went on a farm, and have you seen the size of, like, cow pats? I mean, they're really big, and like if we come across a field and it's like caked in that shit, could I like maybe, you know, could you help me out?
I really don't want you to finish that sentence, so I'm excited about fighting an owlbear though. I've never actually fought an owlbear. There was one time they had it in a circus, but it got loose, so they had to capture it again. So we never did that again. There was also people that didn't like that too much.
Well, yeah. I mean, you'll always get the activists, but hey, fucking, what are they gonna do, you know?
Not pay me money, and that's kind of why we went out of business. But
oh yeah, I never asked you about your business. What gives?
Well. So, the guy who owned the circus had his own vices, mainly women and gambling. So, he kind of spent all the money we were making.
Oh, shit.
But he's gone now, so...
You know where he is?
Probably in some brothel somewhere.
I mean, we could find him.
He's better off out of the business.
Oh, well, yeah, that's probably true. Hey, look, I was thinking as well. This money that we're getting, what are you going to spend it on?
Well, that's... I want to start my own circus. I have all the people that were in the circus before. They still really want to work, and they've been out of a job for a while now. So, I'm hoping to make the best circus that's ever come to this place.
That is a mighty fine aspiration you got there. And look, if that happens, I'm sure that I'll come and visit, maybe.
You could sell tickets. You know what? As much as I don't think you're charming, you can talk to people.
I could do that. And look, let's say we'll split it 60-40. I mean, I'll put in all the work in, getting the tickets sold. And hey, look, I bring 100 people in. Maybe we could talk about, partnership, collaboration. Put my name up in lights. Put me a little stall outside. How
about we also table that?
The rest of the party joins you two outside.
Hey, oh my God! What if we get
Hey, everybody!
If you're gonna start your own circus and we're going after an owlbear, maybe we capture that owlbear.
I will have no way to put
We're literally a tent away from a circus right now. Do you realize that?
Where's the circus?
in our... listen, we're a short step away from it, my friend, and when we get there, big
really?
lights.
I can't see it anywhere.
I mean, figuratively.
And how does it feel to have the only character with plus intelligence?
Yeah, I'm not.
Right, so, hey, let's go fuck up a bear.
Did you get the tracker?
I got it.
Does it ding or glow or say,
It'll
"Hey,
activate
he's over
and
there"?
show a direction when we're about a mile out from
Okay.
the sword. Hopefully, he's attached.
So it's not on him; it's on the sword. Okay.
The pommel.
And
well, my friends, onward, southwesterly.
As you have, yes, and as you start to have these conversations on the move towards the southwesterly direction, you make your way down there with a fair amount of time and sort of come across the guard that's been told that he has to provide you with horse, wagon, and driver to take you in the general direction of where you're going. It's not a case of, this is a very well-established, well-funded place. You can just take cards places. You
promise that
sort of all
very...
Just yeah.
Sorry, no, Crum is very hesitant to go onto the cart because of the fucking horses. He's like,
I lift him up and I just chuck him onto the chuck him onto the back of the car.
You never toss a dwarf.
That's not what's been said to me. It could be very fun.
Like a child who won't get into a car seat, Crumb is placed into the cart and then sitting next to him, Nala comes down and goes, sit. And you all get onto the cart and make your way sort of southeasterly.
Southwesterly.
It takes no more than an hour and a half to sort of get within range. And as you hold the stone in your palm, you start to see it move ever so slightly in the direction you're going, essentially. But it's sort of it's just like gliding across your palm very gently. And if you keep pushing, as it hits your fingertips and you put it back to your palm, it just keeps moving that way. So you know you're going in the right direction.
Before we get
Dan,
to...
can you put on can you put on the ambient for the hills and stuff? It's the other one down. It's like...
Got it.
Yeah.
Before we
I
get...
had to shut it down. Yep.
So before we get as we're on this journey and before we get too far into it, can Rufus just be having a think? Because I have a speciality in beast lore. So Rufus is going to be having a think about from what he knows about owlbears, is it common for them to move into like agricultural land, or do they usually stick to the forest? Is it odd that they would be attacking these kind of places? What might drive them to do that and stuff like that, just based on what he knows about owlbears?
I'm gonna. It's going to be a nature check. But if you have anything specific you want to add to it, you can potentially, if you've got like a history buff, because I would categorize that under sort of like.
Well, I've got nature, beast lore speciality, and history. History legends, but I don't think that really applies.
Okay, yeah. So the straight up beast lore, then roll on that one for me.
Okay. So that's not bad. 16 plus 4, dirty 20 plus expertise dice, which is another 2. It's another 22.
Dope. I mean, owlbears are a common beast, to say the least. They're not often seen, but a lot is known about them. Where you are in Moorhome right now is not very far away, but you're traveling towards wooded areas. But if owlbears were in this part of sort of Vashoadan, they would be in the sort of the more mountainous regions. For one to come this low down and start going through farmland means something is wrong with it. It's either been exiled from a pack, it's an old matriarch that's been forced out by a younger matriarch, let's say, or it could be, from what was said, feral. It might just be on a rampage. It's eaten something wrong. There's a few reasons why one would come down this way, but for them to actively run through lived in areas and attack just sort of stock, it's not unheard of, but it's not common.
Yeah.
I mean, we may be heading into something a little bit more complicated than a simple owlbear fight, guys. It's not normal that they would come down this far. They're mounted as creatures.
Oh, maybe it was hunting something. And if so, I think you're right. There might be more to this than meets the eyes.
Plenty for them to hunt in their natural habitat. Something must have forced it down here.
Well, yeah.
Crazy.
Sometimes these things just go crazy.
I don't know about that.
Well, I think maybe first thing we do, we find Vincent. Hope he's still alive. And then if we manage to do that, maybe we do head up a bit north. See what we can, well, mind you, see if we can find its natural habitat. There might be, you might be right, Rufus, there might be something there that, you know.
It could be great evil.
Then if that's the case, then we must go. I mean, it's our duty, right?
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
I'm not so sure it's our duty. I mean,
you said duty.
Against her will, she just starts giggling. She's like, yeah, I did. No, but it's not our responsibility to go further than required. I mean, we could potentially take, if we do come upon this owlbear, we could take it back, I could study it, and then with more information we can go.
You want
right, so have any of you actually fought an owlbear?
Yeah, like 6 in my time.
Inside check.
Do you need it? We know him pretty now.
I think that's deception on Colin's part, insight on Crumbs.
Okay.
Or what
I have a speciality in truth seeking.
Yes, that's a expertise dice.
23.
Yeah, you get the feeling it's more like 5.
Okay.
Inside check on Dan.
On Dan.
Yeah, you get the feeling that there's something not quite right with what he said.
Yeah. Right.
And as this conversation happens, sort of as you're on the road, another hour passes, and as you sort of head down these very well-crafted roads, because in sort of the renovation of Vashoadan itself, the roads and sort of pathways were renovated, and they are very well cut out, signposted, walled. Like it's nice to travel in these parts. And as you sort of make your way, as you bend your way sort of around this S shape, you see a small gaggle of people stood near what looks like a very large farmstead. And this very rural-looking individual sort of runs up to the guy and goes, "Are you lot from Heart and Home?"
Yeah, that's us.
It's about bloody time that boy you sent down this way to sort out our thing, he's done nothing and he's fucked off. You're here to help me, I assume?
For starters, we didn't send Buckle, he ran off.
Oh,
he usually does that.
Can I see some identification, please, sir?
Yeah, all right. It's right there. Are you coming to help my farm or not?
Oh, buddy. No, they'll hold me back because I'm about to whoop me some fucking ass.
Yeah, we're here to help, but we also need to retrieve our rogue member of the guild, shall we say.
Yeah, that's fine. He ran through my field on the look for that fucking owlbear that ran through here. You should see the state of my field.
What can you tell us about this creature?
Not a lot. I mean, just fucking follow me. Get off your... Come here. I'll show you.
I don't really like his attitude, but fine. Pop down.
He does have a rogue owlbear running through his field and now an idiot boy. You have to kind of give him some levity, all right?
If I knew what that meant, I probably would, but I don't, so I'm not.
I mean, I don't. I heard Heisen say it once. I was hoping I was usually right.
And like pitchfork in hand, he sort of like grumbles and leads you towards a around his house to the back where the majority of his field and his land is, and you can instantly see the trail from where the owlbear came in, and sort of looking to the left, you see fences smashed in from so they've been smashed as it's run through, and they're sort of blown out this way. Crops asunder, vegetables smashed and ruined, and as your gaze comes across it, you see about 7 cows potentially that you think in ruins. So they are on the floor, and there is just sinew and viscera and bits just spread out across sort of maybe a 20-25 foot patch of grass where they would have been grazing, and they are just ruined. And you just see this guy, and he's just, my best cows are fucking done. Do you see this? I have lost an entire herd because of this fucking thing. And it's just gone that way. And you can see where the path of destruction and blood leads. It goes out of the farm through more field and smashed fence and off into a not too distant wooded area, but it's a good sort of 120 feet away.
Oh, damn. Right, well, thanks for bringing this to our attention. If you don't mind, we'll investigate the area. We're going to look for some clues, and then we'll be on our way. Just point, which way did you say the owlbear went again? That way, right?
I think we can see the way the owlbear went.
You see
just pointing towards the trail of destruction.
The big one's right. You see that fucking fence over there?
Whoa, hey!
Destruction going through it.
Whoa!
Look, sorry, I don't mean to be short with you. I really don't. But this happened in an hour. I was plowing this morning, feeding my chickens. This thing tears through my fucking farm, ruins my cows, and now it's gone.
We will make sure to take care of the beast. Money. Don't worry. It's totally understandable that you would be upset.
Thank you, my funny friend. I know it's just...
I would stay back towards the road just in case it comes back this way.
You were on the field when it went through?
No, I was closer to the coops over there, and he sort of points about sort of 10, 15 feet away where there's a very nice looking chicken coop. I
turn to Crumb and go,
I mean, obviously I didn't go close to it. It tore through. You what?
I turn to Crumb and I just say no when he looks towards the chickens.
My wife saw it from the window. It looked like I've seen owlbears in books. I've never seen one in person, but, big feathery bear-looking fucking bastard thing.
Yeah, look,
beak, claws.
I get it. It's a scary time. I understand the emotions are running high. Hey, sorry, I apologize. Can I get your name?
Jebber.
Jebber, good. Thank you, Jebber. Look, the professionals are here. Leave it to us. We'll have a look around. Why don't you go home, calm your nerves, nice cup of chamomile tea, get your feet up. We'll deal with it from here. How does that sound, Jebber?
I mean, I am home, but thanks. I'll just go into my house then, shall I?
Yeah. Bye.
And as you shoo him away, he's like... Little bastard.
Literally, just turn around to Nala and go, Jebber, remember that. We'll need it for his fucking gravestone.
Jebber. I apologize for laughing while you were describing that. When you were saying about the cows, is it Caspar went, ooh, yummy. Just tickled me. I apologize.
There's a lot of beef.
So,
but yeah, you are stood. Sorry, no, I'm just gonna say you are stood at the edge of this field of massacre. What do you want to do?
Can I go over and check the bloody pulps?
And can I, in the meantime, look at the trajectory and see if at any point it veered off, or it looked like it had a destination in mind and it was charging through, and I just dropped the light and just kept going.
Okay, does anyone else want to investigate anything while we're going through? Because we'll just do it in sort of one fell swoop.
Yeah.
We got pulp, path of destruction, crumb,
cows,
chickens.
I would also want to go up to the path of destruction, more towards the fence, to sort of see if I can see it, like if this owlbear has been hurt, like if there's a tuft of feathers somewhere, or trail of blood somewhere, fair. Something that I can basically pick up on and essentially sniff, because that's how I track.
Essentially.
Nala is going to go with Hyacinth, and she is looking at the tracker stone to see if it is pointing in the direction of the path of destruction, to make sure that he is where we should be heading.
Yeah. Colin, what's your plan?
So I want to kind of look at, so I'm more taking in like the disperse of the cows, if they're all like, okay. Do you know what I mean? Like if they're spread out, then this thing has not been here just like touring through as it's ran through. This thing's like made a chomp of it, you know what I mean?
So what I'm going to say with this one is then everyone roll an investigation check, and we will group together your rolls, and what you get is that.
Could I potentially, because I have a specialty in sensing motives as part of an insight, like I don't. This is a bit different, so it's up to DM discretion completely.
Yeah, do you know what? Go on then. You can. I will let you go for that.
And what I was specifically trying to discern from the pulp was whether this looks like the normal hunting behaviors of an owlbear, and also if the wounds, whatever I can get from what's left, seem like they were done. So by everyone,
So everyone, roll your investigations,
and we'll get. Can I use my beast law speciality to get an expertise dice on that?
Yeah,
based on that.
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. Thank you.
I got a 3.
I'm going to use my inspiration.
Go for
it. I rolled a solid 8 for a 7.
17.
Okay. So
also got a 17.
17. Dan, what did you get again? Sorry.
Solid 7.
Solid 7. Han?
I got 16. Did
you say 16?
Yes.
Cool. Okay, so I got 3, 7, 16.
2 17s.
And others. Cool, that's fine. So, I mean, as a collective looking through these things, so I think the Nala looking sort of going from what looks like entry as you sort of go down that way, it's very much a case of, unless you were to go into the grassy sort of fields where it ran through, you wouldn't be able to discern tracks or anything, but you can tell that there's sort of a mild parting in the grass that you can tell that it's just charged this way and burst through the fence. There's no claw marks. It looks like head has just hit the fence and it has pushed it in every direction. You can sort of see it within crops in just sort of the local vicinity. Same with the other fences as you move on. The dirt it's very heavily moved, like it was moving at pace. It doesn't look like it was stalking or tracking. There are big grooves in the ground where its claws have been like terrassing through. As you work your way into the field, and then this will work into everyone else, it looks like it's gone from one to another in sort of like a pattern, because you can see where like the closest one to it, you can see where its claws stop. And Rufus, Colin, Crumb, whoever's looking at cows, as you look to the bodies through the trail of destruction, there doesn't seem to, from what you can tell, this doesn't look like feeding. This was killing for the sake of killing. There are huge gashes in the sides of these things, bite marks. But where there's a bite mark, there's no tear of flesh. It is just a clamp down hard on a piece of flesh and then let go. Same with the claw marks. There doesn't seem to be anything.
Are they consistent with an owlbear though? Like,
yeah, it's a beak. Like it's you sort of see the deep indentations at the tip where the crest of the beak has come down. The sort of thin slits around it, and then the fangs within it. So it's definitely the maw of an owlbear. But from looking around and looking at where it's gone, it looks like it is all of you together looking and investigating these things. It's burst in sort of through this left side, saw living creatures in essentially, slash bite just to any of them, just tearing through. There doesn't seem to be, as much as you could put together a desiccated sort of corpse, there doesn't seem to be anything missing. Like there's no, like I said, with the bite marks, nothing's been torn to pieces. Just bite, claw, rip. Straight to the second one, bite, claw, rip. And it's just gone 1, 2, 3, 4, and then carried on running. So whatever it was doing this for, it was not hunting, it was not feeding, it was not, whatever you would assume. This was just because it could.
Okay.
Here's another question.
And it's gone. Sorry, you said about feathers as well. As you look through the fences, you do see tufts of feathers sort of stuck to wood, stuck to bits of bone, maybe. The thing that concerns you the most when you look is that you see what looks like skin, like actual skin with feathers still attached. In the same way, when you get chicken and you sort of see the feathers still in them.
Yeah.
You have a bit of that just hanging from a fence.
Okay.
This thing doesn't look like it took care with itself. It just tore ass through.
I'm gonna pick that up and put that in a satchel that I have. With all the
you have some loose skin.
Yeah.
Yum.
Yeah. But
add that to your inventory.
With all the sort of destruction that we've seen and what you've explained now, can I also check? Does it seem like there are footprints from Vincent going in the same direction? And does it seem like those are older?
Looking at the exit trajectory of wherever this thing ran, you don't see a lot because the earth is very disturbed, but there is the occasional boot print that you would at best guess could assume would be his. You're not sure because the farmer could have looked this way as well, but you see prints leading in that direction, but you couldn't tell if it was his or not. They're just general boots.
And just
we couldn't really tell. We couldn't really tell that whether or not they came before the owlbear destruction or afterwards.
No. This is, no, not really. It's too.
Okay.
You would assume maybe they came afterwards, but again, you can't be sure who made them because if it's come through and then someone's walked that way to look at the extent of what's happened, it would just be a boot print. You'd have to start investigating shoes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did I get a look at the stone to see if he is in that direction?
So as Karam is looking for boot prints and you're sort of coming to the end of this sort of investigation, looking at the scene, holding it flat to your palm, it is heading in a slightly more pointed direction. It's not true to the path of destruction, but it is kind of to the left, but it is pointing in that way. So he has gone. He is within at least a mile of where you are, heading that way.
Okay. Well, then now let's.
But given how far the tree line is from where you are, you can't know if he's going to get outside the range soon.
Yeah.
Right now, it's going to turn to the group and go, well, if it did this to all these beasts, we need to get after him. He can't take this on alone. To be fair, I don't know if any of us could take this on alone, so we need to move.
Whatever is wrong with this thing, it's not acting like any normal owlbear would. Seems to be purely on a path of destruction. It's not feeding on anything at all.
Yeah, it's not running from anything because it's had the time to stop and kill, but it's also not acting out of base instinct.
Almost seem to do it out of sport.
Or being drawn towards something because, you're finding bits of its skin on fences.
It's feral.
Crazy.
It seems strange to me. Well, if we're heading into the forest, we might want to get some help.
From?
Whoever we want to ask. And can I look around to see if there's any birds flying around?
You can hear bird. Okay, make me a nature check again.
Okay. That's a 22.
Oh.
Damn, level 3, we are rolling high.
Right?
Yeah. I've done 322s this session.
You are on a roll. You can hear birds, but given what's happened, you assume most of them are reluctant to return to the area because something just tore through, ripped things to shreds, and left. They are in the vicinity, but you cannot tell distance or how many or where because they are most likely afraid in trees somewhere.
Okay.
Rufus will... A lot of...
Go
on. With that, it's very quiet for all the local animals. So, like, this is farmland, so you sort of, you don't hear the general cluck of chickens. You don't hear any other moves or, like, sheep sounds, cows, whatever. We all know farmyard sounds. It's eerily quiet.
Right. So what, as we're sort of approaching, we're heading towards the forest, right?
Yes.
So as well,
shakily, you see.
As you do, start moving through the field. From behind you, all you hear is.
Ooh.
And then another. And as you all turn, you see one of the desiccated corpses just roll on its back, and the legs start to like flail a bit as it seems to be trying to get up, and it hits the side. And all you hear is as this desiccated cow just stands dead-eyed up and just sort of stands in the middle of this field, like its entire left side is torn out, like you can see sinew and inside hanging from it, and it has just stood dead-eyed looking at the floor. And then not too far away from another one, you hear the exact same crack of bones as more of them start to like splay and
guys,
like, fit.
That's not normal.
And from the 8 that were massacred,
oh my god,
4 stand up and just stand dead-eyed in the field as they sort of and sort of these gurgled, hideous, like some like torn throats and butchered lungs, and they just stand and sort of stare for a bit, and then one like moves jankily to one side, and then they slowly start to seem to regain movement, like not moving anywhere, but just on the spot, as if their legs are sort of coming back into motion.
It's not right, guys.
Do we kill them?
And as they stand,
yes, let's kill them.
Hyacinth is shaking where she stood, and you see kind of like sputtering flame flicker around her as like, that's mage armor.
Well, as these cows come to rise once again from the dead, you all look as their heads crack and the bones and the muscles tear to sort of get movement involved, and they look at you. And that is where we will leave it for today. Pick up next time.
So good. So good, Dan.
Not the combat I was expecting after going after an owlbear.
Yeah, innit?
Yeah. I was not expecting zombie cows. I was expecting owlbear mom.
Nope. I want to give you zombie cows. So enjoy.
Yeah, we'll take that. Well done, Dan. That was amazing.
That was incredible, mate. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Genuinely amazing.
So next time we will pick up in the Field of Dreams, where these cows are going to start doing something, and you guys are going to have to figure out what.
Oh God.
But it has been a true pleasure to DM for you all. Thank you for putting up with my janky internet.
Let's get a thing going.
Yeah, can we just put some appreciation in?
First time ever DMing, and he's done it on stream in front of viewers, and it's been incredible with an advanced system as well.
Yeah,
completely theater of the mind as well.
Descriptions were incredible.
Honestly, I just wanted to do my best for you all, and I hope I have.
Yeah.
I mean, you were all right,
So,
Dan. You were all right. Let's just. No,
Dan's going back and rewriting the whole campaign too. Now.
Yep.
I won't be vegan.
Fuck you. Honestly, you were amazing, Dan. Very good, mate. Your pacing was on point. Your descriptive narrative was insanely good. The way you were reacting on the fly to our bullshit was incredible. Like, really well done, mate. Very good.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure, honestly. But we will come back next week.
Do it again
when you guys have to fight zombies.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone who's joined us and who's stayed and watched. We're Tales and Tap. We've enjoyed this, and I hope to see you next week.
Goodbye.
Left up Advanced 5e.
Yeah.
That as well.
Bye, guys.
Peace.
Later.